Hey, everybody, welcome to Noir Bar. I figured it was time to open the door when I was hearing whispering of Functional, suggesting that they light the bar door on fire. That's when you let in the patrons.
Yeah, maybe it's time to let them in if they're, planning to commit arson.
Yes. And then joining me at the bar, as you can already tell, is none other than Far, who's learning who's learning how to crochet, or as we call it in America, crotchet.
You do not call it crotchet.
We do. It's called crotcheting.
You do not call it crotchet.
Well, maybe some people put a little bit more of a linguistic flourish on it, but it's crotchet, I swear.
No.
Oh,
no,
you know what I forgot to do?
I refuse to believe.
Do you refuse to believe that I forgot to send the tweet out?
No, that I can easily believe.
No, I assumed you'd accept that one. Oops.
Well, in return, here you go. I'll give you the link to your own stream. There you go.
Thank you. Just cut and paste a few things in, including the thumbnail. And man, I really got to do a Christmassy thumbnail. I'm gonna hang a couple of what do you call them? Wreaths. I found something out the other day.
A few more Judy Garlands.
Yes. Did you know that a wreath that's made out of like ivy and pines and such is still called a garland?
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
I don't know why. But, there you go. Hold on. Okay, never mind. Thought I was getting a little echo. I thought the musicians were echoing in the back, but they're not. It's fine.
No, they're doing their job. It's all good.
Man, there are some surly people in the bar. Got people, Polly's late. What's going on, motherfucker? It's just wow.
Yeah,
and they haven't started drinking yet, Far. Or they.
Yeah, maybe we should have an alcohol-free night.
No, there's
like
no.
I don't like. I mean, juice boxes for everyone, Like, come.
You're willing to share your juice boxes with everyone else in the bar?
As long as they're not going to set fire to us, yeah. Anything to stop arson. Fuck.
Well, you know what? I was thinking about the time.
Arson?
No, I was not thinking about arson. Not until Functional brought it up. I was thinking about doing Noir Bar at a consistent time. I thought maybe that would be a good thing. But then, you know what happens, right? It's like what happened today when I was supposed to be over at Cocktail Hour with Weibo on her channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. on Christmas Island. And, well, that didn't work out so well because I was in a car wreck today. Car accident, to be more exact.
Yeah, wait. It is not on at 1 a.m. Christmas Island time.
Isn't it?
No,
remember...
because that shit was running as I was leaving the house today. I didn't leave the house at 1 a.m.
Well, I forget
or whatever the fuck.
I forget the time. I used to announce it for the pleasant 1,100 people on Christmas Island. What time? Whatchamacallit? Cocktail Hour would start on Christmas Island. And I looked up the time, but I forget. So it's not 1 a.m. That's not right.
No. That is so far off.
It was definitely an a.m. I'm within a 12-hour correct
it was
range.
in the morning.
Yeah.
It was in the morning, but not fucking 1 a.m. Holy fuck.
Well, you live down there.
Yeah. It was like 7 or something like that, right?
What time is 8 Eastern in Australia? Because it's an hour before West Coast Australian time.
I don't know.
A lot of help you are.
Yes, I am the most helpful.
Or they're accusing you of being a Kiwi.
Well, fuck off.
You have no idea how deep you're getting, man. That Australian New Zealand thing runs deep, guys. It's best to not fuck around.
Yeah, I'm not a sheep fucker.
Well, that's what I should do. BG says, it's snowing and they got to keep warm somehow, so why don't they just light fire to the door? I don't know. Why don't we... I could just take the fire that's over there and have it have a back entrance. There's double-sided fireplaces. That's the thing. You've seen those, right?
I guess.
You ever seen fireplaces that are like the center of a room and they've got like two sides? Like there's entrances to the
No.
fireplace on both walls? No?
No.
In the fancy house you live in, you've never seen something like that?
Polly, my house is made of asbestos.
Yeah, but you also have a fancy pool and slidey doors that none of the rest of us poorer folk can enjoy.
The sliding doors kind of came with the fact that it's an old holiday home.
Don't try and play it down, rich girl. Most of us don't have access to it.
I am laying it down because it's not that fancy. It's like, I probably shouldn't say this, but the back door doesn't even lock properly. So
yeah, that's the kind of thing you should probably keep to yourself.
Like it locks, but it's just it locks weirdly. Okay, we kind of slightly might need to get that fixed. It still functions, just
Oh shit! I forgot something else. Come here, you.
Oh boy.
No,
what
it's
did you
fine.
forget?
Nothing. I just forgot to open up my second laptop for Streamlabs in case anybody's generous enough to tip the bartender. And so I'll be able to read their Streamlabs because I'm running a potato operation here. So I like to have as few things running on my main laptop as possible. So I run Streamlabs off of my separate small notebook computer I use for going to campus with and stuff. There we go.
Fair.
Yeah. That's my version of clever. Polyboomer. Yeah, so anyway, I already I did oh, bless you.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ, there's a mute button on your mic.
I'm sorry. I've got it on the friggin' stream and I couldn't get to it quick enough.
Bad luck. Watch out for dingoes. Do dingoes know how to use doorknobs?
I don't know. I hope not.
Well, as long as they still don't know how to use doorknobs, you're good to go. Come on. Yeah, well, anyway. Let's check out see who's all here. Let's see. RVA Dar. Oh, hey, Camo. What's going on? Hey, Poitras. And Functional, of course. And Cynic. Awesome. Formerly Rodline. 2S, who instructed us that we're supposed to call him Shroom. Or is it Shrooms? Wandering Lisa. Everyone else. Very nice. Very nice. Nice to have you around. Man, I really... I dig the small sort of vibe of late night chill streams. I like it. It's you don't feel the need to be as spicy, although I'm spicy by nature. We got a little music playing in the background. It's nice and chill. I like it. It's a stream to drink to.
Okay, so I fucked up somewhere along the line here. That's great. That's great.
What's up, Circus Zero? Hey, Jordan 250. Hey, Jordan. Hey, you're lurking. That's fine. Thanks for saying hi. Always nice to know who's here. Doug Rampant and Evil One, of course. Bar needs concealed carry. Australia needs concealed carry. You never know who's sleeping in the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus, man.
Just saying.
So you want to tell them about your car accident?
Oh, yeah, I guess. So minding my own business. I was sitting in the passenger seat of my friend's car. And we were staring straight ahead talking about, I don't remember, whatever the fuck, random discussion. And bang! Someone fucking smashes right into the back of us. We were stopped at a red light. And she's one of them kind of scaredy cat drivers where she doesn't want to... She slows down way before she needs to and parks like 2 car lengths, or stops 2 car lengths back of the nearest car at stop signs and red lights and shit. Anyway, that's what she did then. Didn't stop the person who was coming up behind her from piling right the fuck into the back of us. So, the result was, and here's my lesson for the day, everybody. Super secret safety tips from your neighborhood drunken bartender. Wear your seatbelt. Because I had mine on, she didn't have hers on. She bounced off the steering wheel and broke her wrist. I am unscathed. Wear your seatbelt. It's, I was like, how the fuck, if we were hit from behind, did you bounce into the steering wheel? She goes, I don't know. I just kind of like got jostled around and I think I reached up to grab the steering wheel and kind of stop myself from bouncing around. She's a tiny little thing. That's why it happened. See, you tiny people, Far, you're apt to injury. It's a dangerous world out there.
Yes, it is.
You know, In case you guys didn't know, Far's like 100 pounds soaking wet with boots on. Right. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that's the accident itself didn't take very long, but standing the fuck around forever for the cops to show up because it wasn't an injury accident because no ambulances were called.
I am drunk, so drunk, I cannot get up.
Oh, thank you, RVA Dar. First to tip the bartender, greatly appreciated. For the potato replacement fund. Believe me, that's exactly where it's going, RVA Dar. I appreciate it. I was talking to, just as a quick little side note, Gilcado mentioned that he's a computer guy and an IT guy by trade, I believe. And he's mentioning, Vol Potato's already putting our stuff up in chat. Awesome. I was just about to...
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just about to double check to make sure Far's merch link was in the chat, or in the description. And I was going to cut and paste my Streamlabs into the chat, but fucking Vol Potato's there ahead of us. Much appreciated. So it's standing around waiting for the cops to show up to fill it up because it's not a rush that they get there. She just thought she hurt her wrist. By the time we'd gone to the hospital and she had an x-rayed, nope, that motherfucker was broken. Well, fractured. She had a hairline fracture. So she got one of those, Instacasts, the ones that are...
Oh, yeah.
Where you're not wrapping around like plaster in the 1950s or whatever. It's just you soak it in water and then they form it around your wrist. You know the ones I mean? They put...
Yeah.
Yeah. She got one of those basic ones. And there it is. She's going to have that fucker on for 5 weeks. 4 weeks, 5 weeks, I think they said. And yeah, and because it was just a wrist injury that may or may not be a bone break, guess who got to go ahead of us? Her. Everyone! I mean, that's triage, right? If someone comes in and they're fucking bleeding or doubled over in pain, they're going to take it before the person with a sore wrist, right?
Yeah.
Vol Potato says you're getting me replaced. No! I was like, what are you talking about? It took me a second to clue. No, you're a Vol Potato with an E. Everyone's talking about replacing my potato that ends in an O. That kind.
Yeah, different potatoes. It's fine. Mm-hmm. It's fine. You have nothing to worry about.
Your position is safe. Doug Rampant mentions, there's another little tangent thing, because, it's a late night chill stream. We can go on 100 tangents, and I'll come back to the boring hospital story. If you like potato alcohol, do you know how, vodka's made from potatoes, right?
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Oh, right. It can be made from other things, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And sadly, is mostly made of other things. Grey Goose, that's grain. Smirnoff, grain. Absolute, grain. None of them are made out of potatoes. You got to go to Chopin is potato. I think Tito's is potato. That awesomely 5 times distilled Texas vodka, I'm pretty damn sure is potatoes. And the reason why is easy. You get a higher alcohol yield out of grain than you do out of potatoes. So it increases the profit margin to use grain. And it's more expensive to buy potatoes than grain. So it doubly increases the profit margin. In my opinion, potato vodka is much, much better. It's harder to find. You just have to know. At this point, they advertise it on the label. 100% pot still potato vodka because so few of them are. Now they're all column still grain distilled alcohol, right?
Yeah.
And RVA Dar says vodka used to be made from potatoes. Damn straight it did. It used to be that was the thing. Right? That's original Polish udka is straight potatoes, yeah. And if you're into vodka martinis or vodka straights or whatever, you damn well notice the difference. Potato vodkas have like this oilier thing. They're a little bit smoother on the back. They don't have nearly as much of the... Have you ever smelt a glass of just vodka, Far? That rubbing alcohol smell?
Yeah. Oh, God. I know that too well.
That's, in my opinion, is much more prevalent on grain alcohols than potato alcohols. And so there you go. Corn pop vodka. Corn, Polly! Well, that would be corn distillate. Like what will hopefully soon be bourbon. Which is... Can you do better than corn? Hey, Far, I got a picture to show you.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I've got many pictures to show you. Here, look. Display capture. There you go. Look, it's a double-sided fireplace.
Oh, great. It's gonna take a minute.
Yeah, I know. That's why I thought I'd spill the beans for you so you knew what I was talking about.
Oh, okay. Cool. Sweet.
You see what I mean? It's kind of in the center of the room, whatever. So you can have two sides of the fireplace. Maybe we should get another side to a fireplace out in the back where people are coming in so they're not constantly contemplating burning the door down to stay warm. Or out of anger that the door's not open. You think so?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's just... I mean, it... Okay, in my mind, fireplaces are already a fire hazard, right? That's just double the hazard because there's two sides that it can come out of now.
It's already a fire hazard. Look at this one.
It's already a fire hazard.
Look at this.
It's literally on fire.
This thing is so yuppie. When I look at this, I just say, look, you clearly didn't want an actual fireplace. First of all, that's like a propane or natural gas or whatever the fuck fireplace. You just can't access it. It's boxed off like a fucking aquarium.
Well, it's gonna take a minute. This is the best conversation.
There we go.
Oh my god.
I just had to. There we go. Look at her. Awesome Jessica Alba in her stripper gear, taking a slug of vodka. Thank you very much for the tip, Harry Channel. First, you're the first person I have met who's also a Townsend's fan. Townsend's is awesome. I love me some 18th century stuff. Second, I'm more of a mid-century guy. So could you describe for me the map? Sorry, the sexy saxophone started, so I needed to pause. Somebody else hit up a... Hey, I went through the trouble to find saxophone riffs that could be played. You know how difficult it was? And then cutting them out in the editing process? And having them echo just so with a number of different filters? Those things didn't just happen, you know? There was work involved. Harry Chal says he's more of a mid-century guy, so could you describe for me the music of noir? If it's just torch songs and old smooth jazz? That's actually not a bad way of describing it. Torch songs, yeah. What most stereotypically gets associated with noir in terms of music would be the saxophone riffs that you hear playing here and the music you hear playing in the background. Kind of drunken, slow tempo, sultry jazz that has a lot of horns in it. You will rarely hear a drum beat, more of the... they don't use sticks, they use the little fans to tss on the drum tops, you know what I mean? On the tom-toms and the snare drum. To kind of give it that, rarely is it ever high tempo. It has nothing in common with like bebop or acid jazz or anything like that. It's slow and dreamy and sultry. It's all for like slow dancing and love making and mystery and that kind of thing. The soundtrack to the video game L.A. Noire did a fantastic job of coming up with original music to kind of exemplify the stereotype of noir music. It rocks. And I'd use it, but, copyright and all. Of all potatoes says, pro tip, wait a couple of days for the swelling to go down before getting rid of the cast, so you can skip a few weeks of the first cast and get the second one right away. And yes, I've done this. Yeah, I remember when I broke my arm. It, right above my wrist, I was amazed how quickly my arm shrunk or the cast got bigger, if you know what I mean. And I was right-handed, it was on my right arm, and typing was a bitch, and I was in my master's program at the time. That fucking sucked. I was having to type and write all the time, and I couldn't do it as effectively with the cast. Oh! Far. This is topical. Have you ever had a cast on your arm or leg?
No, but I have had fractured bones.
Okay.
So I've had slings, and I haven't been allowed to move my arms.
Do you know the You've heard people complain about the itching that happens with casts, right?
Yes, I'm not familiar with it though. I've never actually had a cast.
Okay.
Because the only injuries I've had are like a fractured elbow, which was my right elbow, and then a fractured collarbone, which thankfully was my left collarbone. So neither one you could really have a cast on it. You know, it's like the other thing you could really do is like put it in a sling and hope for the best.
Well, the thing that I liked was the okay. So you're not supposed to scratch down there, and they tell you because it's high humidity in that cast, right? And your skin's gotten real sensitive because it's blocked off from airflow and the sun and everything else, right? So your skin's really touchy down there. People will scratch down there with plastic forks and all kinds of shit just to get at the itch because it's driving them fucking crazy, right? I figured out the ultimate thing to scratch down your cast with and cause no injury whatsoever.
What?
A knitting needle.
Oh my god.
It's long, it's not sharp, the end is completely blunted, but it's so long and thin that you can get all the way down the cast and get to whatever point is annoying you. And really, you don't want to scratch it so much as you just want to rub it to get it to stop. You know what I mean? And it's, whew, was that effective. And when Evolve Potato mentioned the time between the casts. You get a cast on one arm, on your arm, then you go back a couple of weeks later, like you mentions, and they'll cut it off and put another one because it gets all loose and it's not immobilizing your wrist in the same way or whatever. And then all of a sudden it's retightened. I loved it when it was loose because I could really get down there at those itchy spots. When they put the new cast on, I was back to step one. Yeah. Don't break things.
But I try not to. I mean, those fractures only came because of dumb shit I did as a kid, so. And one of them resulted in them completely changing a layout of a area at the school I'm currently volunteering at.
Oh man, Harry Channel.
That was funny.
Harry Channel says, "I have a wood grill in my kitchen. You bastard." Okay, all right, I'm a little jealous. I'll own that. I'm a little jealous. If I even had one of them gas ones, you know, the ones that are on like just like the small little grills that are on the island, and usually they're natural gas, and they have the vent vacuum hood over top of it to absorb the smoke. I'd kill for one of those. This motherfucker's got a wood grill. I'd never fry anything ever again. My frying pans would just sit there unused if I had a grill. But the best tool for cast itch is chopsticks. I mean, that's more or less what I was using. It just had a...
it's just metal.
Yeah. Well, in my case, plastics. They're the training ones.
Yeah, right. Your little plastic ones.
Hey!
What? It's okay. Everyone has their preferences. Stargazer responded to my shitty little crochet thing on Twitter and told me, "You're lying to me. It is crochet."
What?
Fucking little shit.
What do you mean? What did you send?
By the way, Polly is lying about how we Americans say crochet.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I didn't realize that's what you were referencing. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no, because I posted a picture of how it ended up turning out. It does not look like a snowflake, by the way. It's just like a circular blob. But yeah, she was being nice and encouraging and telling me that, yeah, you're a fucking liar.
Well, thanks for spoiling the joke, Stargazer. Jesus Christ. Guy's trying to gin far up and get her confused, and she can go start telling her Australian friends that, you know, in America they call it crotchet? Isn't that weird?
The story would have been more along the lines of, yeah, you know, this guy online that I'm friends with, yeah, he tried to convince me that Americans call it crotchet, but he's a fucking liar.
Is that the way it would go?
Yeah, like he's a filthy fucking liar. God damn.
Oh, Stargazer is here. Lurking. Smiley face. Hey, Stargazer, how's it going? And Cynic backs me up. It is crotchet. It's regional.
You're both liars. You're both fucking liars. I don't know what to say.
Are you going to get into You also got your grandmother's needlepoint stuff, right?
Yeah.
Are you going full old lady and doing the needlepoint too, or what?
No, actually, my sister has all that stuff, so I'm not doing that. That's a level of old latery that I'm not going to even touch, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's one for you, Fard. So you did see the yuppie fireplace, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here. Look at this. That's 3 times as yuppie. I mean, what's the point? The point of having this is just so you have it, so when your friends come over, your friends, the people that are just hanging out with you, because they also own BMWs, you know?
Yeah.
They can be like, oh my god, oh yeah, it was designed by Sven Couture, and he came in and sat down and had visions about our place and let it inspire him. Like, that's the kind of crap that
my god.
Look at
yeah,
that.
no, that's what the fuck.
Like, that's pointless. I mean, first of all, you're not going to get any warmth off of it, literally, but you're not going to get any warmth off it figuratively. That's not a hearth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not a warming fireplace. That's cold and icy. That's something you see in like some trendy New York loft you don't want to live in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's no. God, no.
And it's like, oh, but it's walled off with glass on both sides. So, no one can get injured. That's not really the point. Do you also have the stove walled off?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fireplaces as trendy architecture art. This is crap. Right? Cynic says a bogan fireplace, an overturned shopping trolley.
Yeah. But it has to be in the backyard as well. Like, it can't be inside the house. It has to be out in the back. Like,
yeah. Harry Jones says you might as well get a bullshit electric fireplace. Yeah, you know those? Have you ever seen those? You buy them at... I saw them at Costco. Speaking of Costco that we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
They're just like fake wood, whatever. They don't look all that bad, honestly, but they just have the air of complete fakeness about them. You just put them flat up against the wall. The back of them's completely flat. They plug into the wall. The fire, quote unquote, on the inside is just like a lighting effect done with electric lights to make it look like there's embers in there. You know what I mean? And then it has a heating unit in it that blows hot air out of the top via fans.
Wait, so it's a heater?
Yeah,
that's made to look like a fire?
Correct. Yes.
What? You guys are weird.
That's just
fuck,
no. That's just trash. That's just, you want a fireplace in your. I don't know. I guess it's not trash exactly. Maybe you want to, because they are geared to look like a classic fireplace hearth. So that's a good thing.
Yeah,
but
which is like, no, you're fucking weird. Why is everything about fireplaces? You have like the fireplace channel. You have your weird heaters that are made to look like fireplaces. God damn.
What? Fireplaces are cool. It stems
Fucking
from our
hazard.
colonial past, okay? Don't judge.
A fucking hazard.
You're listening to this chat. They're a hazard. I don't want them in my home. Fear the barbecue.
Well, no, the barbecue is outside, so it's fine. It's inside I'm concerned about.
Well, I mean, okay. Let's say that you have like a legit fireplace inside. First of all, they're really safe because you have the flue lock, and so creosote doesn't light up on its own. There's chimney cleaners that you can buy, logs that burn to clean out the creosote. You have fire pokers. It's not like you're sticking your hands in there, little shovels. And then there's also the little chainmail curtains that you, when the fire's burning, you pull closed over the fire, so snapping and crackling logs don't spit embers out. It's all very safe, actually, Far. No, you're not buying that?
No, you already tried to lie to me about crocheting. Why would I believe you now?
Well,
you're a lying otter.
No, I cracked a joke about crotchet. I don't understand why that means that fireplaces need to necessarily be a danger to your life. I mean, come on.
But you're telling me it's safe.
So let me see if I
You're
get this
telling me
straight.
it's
There
safe.
are fireplaces that are on outdoor patios. Would you be okay with that? Is it just that it's inside the house?
Yes, it's just that it's inside the house.
Ah. So fire pits you're totally cool with,
Yep.
etc. Fires on the beach.
Well, yeah, it's right next to water, so there's nothing to worry about.
Let me take a guess. You have to have a license to start a fire on the beach in Australia.
I actually don't know. Possibly, but I don't think the people around here really give a fuck. Considering there's also people on the regular that will get fireworks
Yeah.
and light them up on the beach, and that's pretty illegal here.
It's nothing better than a real wood fire on a cold, rainy day. Absolutely. Now, the cold part, I'm sure you can't associate with, but rainy, when it's all cozy and crackly in a fire, I mean... No? All right.
These are things I've never even experienced, just saying.
Well, I'm gonna start adding things to a list. I'm sure Platy appreciates a nice fireplace.
They do have a fireplace.
Do they?
Yeah. Yeah, they actually do. When I was there, though, they had it... I mean, like, Platy's family. They
Right.
had it covered with a TV because it was the middle of summer. So I barely even noticed it was there. I kind of
Right.
thought that was just to be honest, I kind of thought the fireplace wasn't actually in use, like, at all. I thought it was just kind of broken or something because of that.
Yeah.
Because you just kind of it looked like the TV was in, like, the bit where the fireplace would be, if you get what I mean.
Right.
So kind of like they just repurposed the hole. But turns out no, they use that.
Huh.
They fully use it.
As they should. I mean, fireplaces are charming, I'm just saying. I have a picture. I think I was actually on my older phone. I was over at my parents' place Christmas, like 3 years ago, I think it was. I can't remember. They have an actual fireplace, and right beside it is a big-ass TV. And they have one of the fireplace channels on the TV. This is on Christmas Day, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
You have a fireplace that's empty, it's dark, there's no fire burning in there, but right next to it is a TV that you have a fireplace on. And my dad just looks at me and goes, uh-huh. Like, he doesn't get it. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird, don't you think? And he's like, is there a different channel I should be watching? Like,
Oh my god.
I'm like, no, if you want a fire, you should light the fireplace. And he's like, yeah, but then you gotta get wood. And I'm like, yeah, I know you gotta get wood, but it just...
Oh my god, it's just like me. It's just like me. Like, oh yeah, but then you have to go get this and that, and yeah, I don't know. It's just a bit much work.
So we've broken down to the core of the problem. It's not about safety at all. You're just fucking lazy.
Well, that is definitely a part of it, but at the same time, no. We did. Okay, part of the thing is, like, I'm being a bit hyperbolic here. Like, I don't really give that much of a fuck. But what I'm basing this off is kind of like, we did have a fireplace when we first moved in here, but it's kind of like you have to have quotation marks around fireplace in this case.
Was it a burned out barrel that your dad burnt garbage in? Was that what you're trying to not say? Okay.
No. Although it might as well have been. It was basically like one of those really old sort of stove things.
Okay.
Right next to the front door. And it wasn't big at all. But it was like the most dangerous thing ever. And eventually it got taken out. Because his dad did take that shit out. But it left a permanent hole in the ceiling that has to be covered with a sheet of metal.
Just got a DM back from Irate Alex. I sent the link in case he... I couldn't remember. I remember him saying his work schedule, but I'm like, maybe that was like last week when he said that. So I sent him the link saying if you're up and around, and then he just hit me back saying, are you still going? And it's like, yeah, we just started. He might be in time for Jahan's, a fellow Brit.
Oh boy! We have to inform him about fucking John.
Oh, guys,
you You have no idea. You have no idea what's about to go down. Holy fuck.
I mean, I'll give you guys a hint, because we'll get to it when we get to it, but Jahan's is a lol cow, and generally I don't like poking at lol cows. I just don't get a lot of fun out of that. But particular ones, for some reason...
I like just observing, you know?
Yeah.
But it has to be, it has to be special, you know?
That's what I'm saying. The person has to be some kind of weirdo where I do not have sympathy for them. Because if you're just making fun of somebody who's severely autistic online and they're not...
that's different.
But there's a lot of lol cows that's all they are. They're basically harmless people that you're relentlessly making fun of simply because they don't understand the difference between good and bad attention. But they're not doing anything. They're just, being out of touch with society. That's the worst harm that they do. And then there's Chris Chan and Jahan's, and those people are just fucking degenerates.
Yes. Oh god, yeah. And here's the thing, Jahan's is kind of like, the best way to describe him is, if you know what Chris Chan is, he is the English version of Chris Chan. It's like, when we first heard that description, I think we were both a bit like, oh, okay, whatever, because you hear that a lot, you know? Like, there's the guy in Germany, Drakenlord, that's apparently the German version of Christian, which, yeah, I kind of agree with that one as well.
Uh-huh.
But it is kind of a thing that's thrown around, but in this case, holy fuck, is it true? I kind of want to start a theory, like in every country there is a version of Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just you haven't found them yet.
That's why I was kind of happy with the Jahan's thing, that he is British, because then it's sort of like it in another context, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's him and all of his beefs with UKIP, etc. It's a different thing
God,
than just
yeah. Yeah, no, that was so fucking funny. Oh my god. Okay, can we just like say that bit?
What, the UKIP thing?
No, like with his mom.
Well, oh no, you gotta level up to it, like because you gotta hear about his beefs with UKIP before you find out what happened with his mom. Is so funny, like that was my favorite part, still is.
Oh god, it's so fucking funny. It's so just it's.
So P-Dog Knight observes that you said you're going to repurpose the hole. Did you actually use that phrase?
What?
The fireplace hole. They repurposed the hole?
No, we had to cover the hole.
Oh. You realize you're in a bar full of surly drunks and probably shouldn't say anything about holes in general, right?
I'm beginning to realize that. I'm tired. I've been surrounded by kids all day. Leave me alone.
Right. Yeah, I guess. Not everyone is a person of leisure and substance, observes James Colley. No, sadly, they're not. See, this is why we need Alex here. He would have jumped right in with some Lord Bear right then. Filthy peasants! I can't do the comedic cartoon
Filthy
voices.
peasant. No, I can't even do it either.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, like how would I even do that?
No, you need to go with the black-hearted Numbat. That's your character.
Oh, sweet.
Is Angry Aussie our Chris Chan?
I don't know. I mean, I know of him like through, stuff Bearing's done, but beyond that, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell. Unless, like... Yeah.
I'd have to watch. I've heard the name, but I don't know the detail of Angry Aussie.
He's basically just... your typical SJW, except he happens to also be Australian.
Who is the ginger fat kid that Bering tussled with all them times? Bering Cab? Is that?
No,
that's someone else.
Bering Cab
Copper
was like
Cab. Thank you.
Bering Cab was like a parody of both of them, I think, in the beginning, and then just kind of turned into his own weird thing.
I remember the last video I saw Bering do regarding Copper Cab, and it was... The guy was obviously playing into it at that point. And I remember thinking, this is just sad. This is somebody that has come to understand this is the most of the best attention that they can get online. And they clearly want and crave the attention that they're willing to degrade themselves like this in public. Like, he's raging and screaming, and he's a ginger, so he's rather pale, and like screaming till his face turns bright red. He's shaking things and ripping his clothes in anger, and it's like, man, people can see you. Where's your fucking dignity?
I always thought he was actually just a troll. You know?
If he's trying to troll other people, he's failing. How do you troll someone else by making yourself look like a schizo? Like, who has zero impulse control?
I don't fucking know, man.
It's like,
Just telling you what I thought.
Yeah, well, just the joke's sure on them. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's...
Yeah, because, I mean, we all know, like, at this point, it's fake, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's absolutely 100% fake. But... yeah, I don't know.
Doug Rampant, how to make custard pudding the Victorian way. Has a lot of booze in it. Custard pudding, you say? Let me just open a tab here real quick.
I have a feeling Polly's Christmas is going to be full of alcohol poisoning.
Well, he said, oh my god, Polly would love how to make custard pudding the Victorian way because it's so involved. It depends. I'll tell you one...
Involved in what way?
Yeah, I'll tell you one place that... I don't have cooking skills at all. Although I enjoy it, I'm not an involved cook or anything like that. And one place I am incredibly lacking is baking. I have fucked up a number of baking things, and I've never bothered to figure out what I did wrong. If you know what, like, other things have drawn my attention in cooking. So if it involves baking and it's involved, I might be pretty fucking iffy on the whole thing. Okay, cool. I got that open in a tab. I will look into it later. I just wanted to make sure I remembered. Holy shit, it looks awesome far.
Does it?
Yeah, just looking at pictures of it and stuff.
Huh, nice.
Like, it's a pudding, not in the American sense, but in like the British or Aussie sense. Like it's a solid thing, not something that Bill Cosby's selling, you know.
Those fucking popsicle. Those did not age well.
No, they didn't.
They really didn't. You want the pudding pop? Fuck.
Yeah, they you know the puddings where it was clearly made in a bowl and then turned upside down and the bowl pulled off so it's in the shape. Yeah, that sort of thing. And then sometimes covered in powdered sugar or baked on top.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they all look pretty fucking good.
You know what you should try that's actually super easy? Trifle.
Yeah, I've never made a trifle. I've had them.
No, it's super easy.
Are they even cooked or is it just layering?
No, it's just layering.
Okay.
Like, the only thing you really need to make is like the jelly.
Remember that patriotic Aussie trifle that I found and you thought it was gross looking?
Yeah.
What?
I remember it, but I don't actually remember what my actual reaction was, so I don't know if this is another joke or not.
No! Wow, I've shot my own credibility to hell, haven't I?
Yes, you have. Well done. You fucked with me for the last time.
I'm just looking at my food porn folder to see if it's... I think I put it in. No, I don't think I did. It was like a trifle basically with jelly and cream, and it had the red and the blue and the white, like, you know, for...
Yeah. No, I remember.
Aussie Independence Day or whatever.
It. But, like, again, I just don't remember my genuine reaction, you know?
Oh, I've taken that other external hard drive that I have my full food porn folder in. It's in another room because I was looking at it on my my other laptop here. I was using it on my other laptop. I've only got a few items in here.
Well, rip the trifle, I guess.
Yeah, rip the trifle. Well, here's a different trifle. Look at this thing. We'll see it come up. Oh my. Home cooked, home stewed cherries, and then that's a layered trifle with a little sprig of mint in there. Tell me that doesn't look fucking fantastic.
I'll see it in a minute.
Yeah, I was just describing it and spending time talking to chat, and because they can already see it, they're hearing me on a delay.
Oh, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Just why do you do this? Oh my god. That has no right looking so delicious.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
all of this creamy goodness around here. Yeah, chat, creamy goodness, haha. All of the. And I'm telling you about not saying stuff in front of surly drunks.
Yeah, I know, right? Fucking creamy goodness.
Well, what? It's good looking whipped cream. And then
no, I agree, but like, holy fuck, like, you should probably apply the same standards. If I can't say shit, you can't say shit.
Yeah, have you ever done home stewed cherries like that? Just throwing cherries in a pot, add a little sugar? No, it's easy and works really well. It's amazing how quickly they simmer down, stew down, break apart. The skin just swells and then breaks open, and it becomes thick like a syrup immediately. It just does it on its own. It's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I've thrown strawberries in a pot like that before, I think. It just kind of becomes its own sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the...
Let's
see here. Oops. Pretty sure I've got it in this folder. Yeah, I do. I'm going to make this one day and have a woman fall in love with me over it because it can make it happen. Stuffed French toast with home stewed cherries. Cherry stuffed French toast.
Ooh, diabetes.
Well, you don't eat it often. It's a treat.
Yeah, well, I'm speaking from experience of, like, my sister makes French toast sometimes, and oh my god, that shit is so sweet.
One of the 10 things that I went off on a tangent about, Zombie Teddy just asked about, did you get a tongue lashing from Weibo for being a no-show last night? Yeah, I did. I hit her up in DMs after I got home and told her about the fucking the car wreck there. My friend's car getting written off. There was enough damage to the rear of it that car is just a write-off. Insurance isn't going to pay for the repairs. It's actually not that much damage, but it doesn't take much for insurance to consider a car a totaling, you know.
Oh shit.
So like that's it. Her car's done, and she realizes she's really pissed about it because the amount of money that insurance is going to pay, they're going to pay the absolute minimum that car is worth, and she's not going to be able to get another car. When we were in the hospital waiting room there, that's all she was complaining about. I think her anger was keeping the pain from her wrist at bay because it had swelled to twice the size of the wrist on her other arm.
No.
Yeah, and I'm like, doesn't that hurt? And she's like, I'm just so angry. And it
well, you know, I can kind of understand because it's like you're gonna have to like what you were saying to me earlier when we were talking about this in Discord. Like she's gonna have to go and downgrade her car.
That's what's
essentially.
Yep.
Because she's like not gonna be able to pay enough money to get the same car again.
No, it won't be. Like if you bought a car for $5,000 and somebody totals the car, they're going to pay you what the car's worth. It's going to end up being like $3,000 that they give you. Now you got to go buy a $3,000 car, unless you have extra money to put on top of it. You know, if you just use the insurance.
I'm assuming she does not.
Yeah, maybe like $1,000 or $500 because it's money out of nowhere that she didn't know she was going to need. You know what I mean? So maybe she could pull some money out of savings or take it off of a credit card, which isn't a smart idea to take. Never a smart idea to take cash off a credit card unless you're going to have the money the next day or something. Yeah, she's going to end up downgrading because of it. Because somebody rear-ended her to no fault of her own. She has to downgrade vehicles.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's a good thing she had health insurance, right?
Yeah.
Because that would have been, I don't even know how much for the x-ray and the cast and then the bone clinic following afterwards to re-x-ray the arm to make sure it's set properly and then the second
Yes.
cast after time. That I don't even want to know how much that would cost if you were just to pay for it outright. A lot.
Yeah, it would have to be.
Yeah. Circus Zero says, be back in 30 minutes. Okay, the bar will still be open. And Evil One says insurance is a scam. Sadly, the ways that, I mean, insurance itself isn't inherently a scam, but the way that they run it, it might as well be. You know? It's like, we're not a racket. You're doing a stunning impression of being a racket then. You're convincing me. And they were just looking to do tests on me. They couldn't wait. It was, as soon as I told them, it's like, well, have you had any recent head injuries? And I told them about the fall down the stairs, right? And they're like, oh, well, maybe we should x-ray you again. Oh, they couldn't wait to run tests on me. I was like, I'm fine. I had my seatbelt on. I was a little jostled at it. Well, you might have a soft tissue injury to your neck, whiplash. Come back in a couple of days if your neck is even remotely sore, if you feel any numbness or tingling. And it's like, you medical pimps, back off.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
Zombie Teddy, yeah, I did end up, after I got back, and after all that jazz happened, I did get a hold of Weebs and tell her about that stuff. I asked her if she had, what her schedule was like over the next week, like over the next number of days, if we could do like a makeup stream, either on her channel, my channel, whatever, her channel. She was already asleep by that time, though. So there it is, the stuffed French toast. You want it, don't you? Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of French toast.
Well, here's what I'm definitely going to perfect this Yuletide season. The hot buttered bourbon toddy. Oh, yeah.
Bourbon toddy?
Toddy. Toddy. You never heard of a toddy?
No?
Oh, okay. It's a common, toddy is a common nickname for drinks that are hot and alcoholic, often stove cooked. That kind of thing. Yeah. It's a really common name. And it's British. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it in Australia. I'm pretty sure that's not an American title. That's a British name for those kind of drinks, a toddy. Anyway.
Yeah, don't know.
Wit Functional says gross. What gross? You know what is funny about it, though? That drink has, like, your caloric intake for the day in a single cup.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's like 2,200 calories. Because it's full of brown sugar and butter and bourbon and, oh my God, and caramel and, oh yeah, yeah. So have one of these before you go out and shovel the snow. You'll stay warm and all the calories you need.
I bet.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you'll stay warm. Jeez.
I'm going to figure out if I can make one that's a little bit less insanely caloric.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary that it be at like 1,200. That's a little ridiculous.
What, 1,200? Holy fuck.
Yeah, no, it was over 2,000. If I could cut it down to 1,200, that'd be good.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I mean, I grabbed that picture last year when I was looking around for Christmas stuff to make for the season.
Yeah. One of your many times of doing that.
I will not apologize for my festive mood. So what are classic things that Aussies do around Christmas? Is it like it's time for like ice cream and iced tea and...
I guess. It's one of those weird things that we don't really do a lot of traditional stuff here in my family. But the closest we really get to tradition, it's like possibly a tree. Sometimes we don't even do that. And then Christmas lunch usually.
Christmas lunch?
Yeah.
Oh. You don't do a big dinner on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day Eve?
No.
You know, Vol Potato said, why would you ruin good butter by mixing it with piss beer? Piss beer? It's brown sugar and bourbon and cider. No beer involved. I guess it kind of looks like beer from the color, but no, it's mostly bourbon and cider. Oh, Pop-Tart's here. Hey, Pop-Tart, how's it going? So, Alex is taking his sweet fucking time getting over here. He said he'd be...
Yeah, so why don't we...
Well, he said he'd be coming in a, quote, hot minute. Yeah. That's a pretty cool minute, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Well, until we go there, would you like to cover some short things in the meantime? 12 strange Christmas customs you probably don't know. Or 50 weird Christmas ornaments. And a connected New York Post story regarding the aforementioned. Which one do you like better?
Well, didn't we do a bunch of the weird Christmas stories yesterday?
These are different ones.
Oh. Do they have... Well, maybe they have Black Pete on there.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I'm going to do a text search here. Oops, that's the wrong button. Black Pete. Nope.
Like, no?
Denied.
I wonder if it's because it's like, oh no, it's a racist thing. We don't want to mention racism.
Right?
Because, I mean, it's not. Like, you know it's not, but it's like... Maybe that's what they're thinking. No racism in my Christmas.
Yeah, but this is... Let's see what comes up with just a straight up search. Jesus! You certainly get some imagery.
Did you not have safe search on?
No, safe search is on.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean imagery?
I love this, guys. Check this out. The Netherlands Black Pete tradition is definitely the most racist way to celebrate Christmas.
Racist. Mm-hmm. Continue.
Oh, fuck. I didn't know that Justin Trudeau went all the way to the Netherlands to celebrate Christmas. That's, Look at it. I mean, all of these Black Petes do look a lot like Justin Trudeau.
Oh my god, you're
looked.
right. You are actually right. Holy fuck.
Dutch TV finally ditches blackface for Christmas character Black Pete after years of controversy.
I mean, I get why it's controversial now, because it can be seen as a, that might be blackface, but at the same time, it's...
Like, here he is right next door to, like, look. Here he is with St. Nick. 100 Black Pete protesters arrested in the Netherlands.
Jesus Christ. But it's just like, if you actually like sit down and you look at what it actually is, it's not actually racist.
No, it's not. This is the thing. It's blackface. If it's not associated with a minstrel show, you're making an unwarranted connection. The whole reason that blackface is racist is because of very racist mocking minstrel shows. That's an American thing. That's an that is
a very American thing.
Yeah, it is. So it's like, the Netherlands, did y'all run minstrel shows back in the day? I'd be really surprised if you did. So what the fuck are you worried about? Well, it's blackface, and that's associated with issues that have nothing to do with your history. Why are you worried in allowing 100 protesters? What do you mean you guys are protesting? Get off fucking Twitter. You're starting to take America's past as a reason that you should be protesting over there? It would be like Americans protesting over the solidarity movement in Poland. Like, wait a minute, why would you be doing that? That's Poland's history. What are you getting upset about it for?
No, yeah, it is pretty fucking weird.
Yeah. That's the problem with outrage culture, in a nutshell. It's looking for reasons to be angry and upset. We have to protest something. But life's pretty good for us and most people right now, so what are we gonna complain about?
Black Pete.
Right. I mean, the Wikipedia description, let's just see what it says. He's the companion of St. Nicholas traditionally in the folklore of the Low Countries. The character first appeared in an 1850 book by Amsterdam schoolteacher Jan Schleckman. Traditionally, Zwarte Piet is black because he's a Moor from Spain. Those portraying Zwarte usually put on blackface makeup and colorful Renaissance attire, in addition to curly wigs and bright red lipstick. In recent years, those characters have become a subject of controversy. Yeah, because people are ridiculously bent out of shape looking for something to be offended by. He's a Moor from Spain and they got him dressed up in Renaissance gear? Right. Go on. And what's the problem?
Yeah. There's no problem, really. It just...
Oh, even one sent a reminder to Alex. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Yeah, hurry your ass. I want to talk about your hands.
Yeah, he hasn't responded since he says, give me a hot minute. It's been 22 hot minutes. I find that disappointing. I want to read about what the origin... Like, I'm vaguely aware of the character to begin with, but let's see what they say about the Moor. I thought he was North African, like he was Nubian. I didn't realize he was supposed to be Moorish. The Zwarte Piet character is part of an annual feast of St. Nicholas that is celebrated on the evening of the 5th of December. Sinterklaas de Vond, which is known as St. Nicholas Eve in English. In the Netherlands, Aruba, and Curaçao, this is when presents and sweets are traditionally distributed to children. The holiday is celebrated on December 6th in Belgium. The Zwarte Piet characters appear only in the weeks before the Feast of St. Nicholas, first when the saint is welcomed with a parade as he arrives in the country, generally by boat, having traveled from Madrid, Spain.
Oh, so he's a boat person. Nice.
The tasks of the various Zwarte Piets, or Zwarte Pieten in Dutch, are mostly to amuse children and to distribute kurdoten and peppernoten and other struliged. So there's sweets, candies, to those who come to meet the saint as he visits schools, stores, and other places. Okay? I mean, he's not a ridiculous character, is what I'm saying. Like this.
Yeah, no, this sounds like typical kid shit.
Yeah, like he's not a buffoon, if you know what I mean. So what's the problem?
Yeah, he's just a jolly man that's giving things to kids, you know, that aren't pickles.
I don't know. You have to figure that there's in traditional stories of in African countries, in certain regions of Spain, that there's legends of Blanco people, like white people that are like albinos or whatever. Are you really worried if they dress up with whiteface? Well, there's a notorious racist history with blackface in America because of minstrel shows, which don't happen anymore. Stop it. Fuck. You know what this reminds me of?
Let the minstrel shows go, man. Like,
yeah,
shit.
I mean, minstrel shows aren't performed anymore. They were not. The reason I say, well, what's wrong with this? Black Pete, he's not a buffoon character. That's the whole point of minstrel shows, is to play black folks like they're idiotic buffoons for cheap laughs. That's what's bad about them. That's what everybody thought was so bad about them. They play them off like they're ridiculous characters for everyone to laugh at the expense of. But that's not what's happening here, and it's not even connected to a minstrel show, so fucking stop it. Okay, so this reminds me of a Sargon video that I saw earlier today on his new channel. He's talking about Cenk Uygur and his run for Congress. I didn't realize all of the so-called news outlets that had already covered this in a negative way, negative towards Chunk. They're like, man who has said awesomely racist and misogynist things now running for a district he doesn't live in California, and then a big picture of Cenk. And that's from the Daily Beast. The Daily Beast is running hard against this guy. Like, and it wasn't hard for Sargon to find numerous articles of people calling him a carpetbagger. Do you know the term carpetbagger? You're running in a district you don't actually live in. Is a carpetbagger?
No. Okay.
Yeah. It kind of goes from like Reconstruction era. You're from the north and you're moving down here and acting like you've always been from here, that you're setting up businesses, et cetera, et cetera. That's a carpetbagger. So in politics, somebody who's running in a district that they've never lived in, they don't currently live in, and they're only moving there, if at all moving there, just to run in that district. That's what Chink's doing. He's never he's never lived in the district. And when I did watch the full interview that he did with Fredo Cuomo on CNN, and it was Chink came across like a blustering idiot. Wow, why am I echoing?
Hold on.
Oh my god! Finally,
Sorry.
Hello.
Hold on, let me get my headphone.
Hi.
Hello. How are we?
Hello.
Doing well. I see that you managed to stumble into our lowly underground saloon. How are things?
They're good, mate. They're good, mate. Thank you very much for asking. How are you and Far?
Oh,
All right.
pretty well. It's the Christmas tide season, as you can see. We've got the decorations up around the bar, and we're all very happy.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I like Christmas decks.
Christmas decks.
Yeah.
Well, you should have been listening last night when we were talking about the German Christmas pickle.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Okay. So they have they have this thing, right? They hide a pickle in a Christmas tree, and they get kids to find it. And the kid that finds it, they get a special present from Santa.
Find the pickle, yeah.
Yes. They hide, and so it's like a little pickle Christmas ornament that they hide somewhere within the branches of the tree, usually around back, and the kids search the tree to find the secret Christmas pickle.
That's dirty.
Yeah, I know, right?
So,
see, it wasn't just us being filthy, right? That was dirty in and of itself, right?
so the game is called Hide the Pickle, or is it Find the Pickle?
Well, it's German, so I'm like,
So like, it's
finding
probably
der
something.
Pickle off or whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's probably something German, but
Oh, it's pickle.
Well, there was a couple people in chat. I'm trying to remember who it was, and they're like, no, this is a thing that we've done it. It's fine. And I'm like, yeah, it's just when you're hearing of it for the first time, it sounds a little odd.
Also, the way they were describing it as well, of like, yes, and they get a special surprise from Santa. Like, none of it was helping.
Yeah, it really.
None of it was helping.
So let me ask you something there, Alex. Do you know of the Black Pete Christmas tradition?
No, I've not heard of that. No.
Oh, okay. I had heard of it, but I didn't know the detail, and I was just reading the Wikipedia page about this character, and a whole lot of the stuff in and around it is because they're dressing up in blackface, because Black Pete is a Moor from Spain, and the legend goes from an 1850 story in the Netherlands that he's St. Nicholas's helper who makes the way for St. Nicholas and then helps him distribute candy to the kids on December 5th, St. Nicholas's Day. So he's dressed up in like Renaissance gear, and and curly hair and black face, hand and face makeup. And it's a figure of controversy because all of the history of minstrel shows they have in the Netherlands.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know why you'd be surprised by any controversy around that. Even though it's a age-old tradition by the sounds of it.
I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed.
I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, pretty much.
You shouldn't be. You should just.
But I am.
There's no point getting like annoyed about it because they're retarded. And you just get a nice little helmet for them to wear when they get really mad at age-old traditions.
Well, that's like the point that I was making is not so much anger, it's what are you doing? Getting angry about this. It's I mean, Chad already heard me say this, but my point was like, it's not a ridiculous character from what I read. He's not a fool or a buffoon, the butt of any joke. He's just a character that comes from Spain, traditionally a rise by boat. He's a Moor from Spain. These are not ridiculous characters. He's not a fool. The characters in minstrel shows are fools and morons and mental defectives, and you're laughing at them. That's the problem. If you don't have a history of this stuff in Netherlands, don't adopt other people's historical problems. This is not good.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. What are the Christmas outrages there at the minute? There's got to be more.
Oh, of course, but we've got a full month of streaming ahead. Let's not do it all in one night, you know what I mean?
Surely the existence of Santa, or lack thereof, obviously, has got to have caused some, at least a 1 or 2 Vox article.
Oh, of course. You would have to imagine. I bet you they were right up on, it's fine that Santa isn't white, or some bullshit argument like that. It's like, I don't care what color Santa is. I really don't.
As long as he brings me a fucking present, I don't give a shit.
Santa could be Chinese for really.
But he's
it really
white in the
matter?
Coca-Cola ads. Yeah, I know.
Oh, fuck the Coca-Cola.
Well, the Coca-Cola ad's old as shit.
It is old as shit. And I mean,
it's not Christmas until that ad's been on the TV.
I mean, but you've seen the way St. Nicholas looks, right? In his traditional garb, the way they have him done up in drawings and paintings and such.
Well, of course.
It's Santa.
21 years old, sir.
Yeah, St. Nicholas, that's why they call Santa Claus Old St. Nick, etc. It's based upon a much earlier tradition of this saint that went around and gave presents and etc. And it's like, yeah, he's white, I guess, but I don't really think it matters because the character is so fucking fictionalized. I mean, he lives at the North Pole with elves. It's fine.
The guy does magic.
Yeah.
He travels around the world in one night. That's realistic.
And fits his fat ass down chimneys, even when the buildings don't have them. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't care what color he is, people.
Santa is a redneck. He was the first redneck. It's the only way to explain it.
He was the first bogan.
Yeah, I can imagine he's right abusive towards his elves and stuff.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah, he's actually Australian. You'd have to do the accent the Bogan accent to really give it the effect.
Christmas decoration rentals.
I don't even know what to say with that accent as well. I'm trying to think. It's
hurry up, you little cunts.
Oi, hurry up, you little cunts.
There you go.
Okay.
He's walking around drinking whatever Fat Santa.
Well, BB or something.
Yeah, he's just drinking some really cheap, lager,
Oh, God.
He's basically Bad Santa if Bad Santa was an obese Australian.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
This is my Santa head.
James.
Is that news to people?
What, the Santa's a sweatshop owner and a paedophile?
Wow. I hope that's news to people. That's Jesus. No.
I mean, sweatshop owner, yeah, but pedo?
The elves are delighted to work there. Where else are they going to go work? In porn for weirdos like Monkey?
Well, they could.
No, they'll go make shoes for old people.
I mean, you got to wonder, the elves have got to be a very adept lot, because they're not just making little toy cars and dollies anymore. They're having to put together Nintendo Switches and all sorts of technical shit. They're a smart bunch.
Are they the ones responsible for stick drift?
Possibly.
Fucking elves.
They had to outsource to Chinese elves so they could build all the consoles and stuff.
Did you ever watch The Sopranos at all?
No, I never got around to doing it. I planned to, but I never did.
You should. It's actually, sometimes the storylines get a little bit off, but it's definitely worth giving a shot to see if it's to your taste. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been recommended to me for ages. I just haven't ever got around to watching it, really.
Have you watched The Wire?
Mm-hmm.
You have.
Is that the guy with the black guy?
There is
drug
a black
addict?
guy?
Narc.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's the show that's been recommended to me so many times at this point out of obstinacy. No, fuck you. Got a whole bag of middle fingers for you. I'm not watching it because you keep telling me to. It's like Far with The Departed. At this point, she just refuses to watch it because I've suggested it too many times.
You
understand. There's a difference between watch 4 or 5 seasons of hour-long episodes and watch one 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah, it's the same.
Sure, since it makes sense
It's
to
the
me.
same. It's the same. It's fine.
Mr. Dax has observed that the elves are both short and hardworking. They must be Chinese. Wow.
Yeah, there you go. Not even Chinese midgets, they're just Chinese.
They got mistaken for elves.
It's like Santa's over there going, he's been racist to them, because it's Santa. And he's like your gran, he's that type of racist. He's like ho ho ho. Yeah, he's like ho ho ho. Come on, Ching Chong Chinaman, let's get to fucking work. Yeah.
Wow.
What?
This was a friendly bar before Alex stumbled in. Apparently,
well, I just said that's what your gran's like, mate. Like it's not me. I'm an all-inclusive.
Such a friendly bar with the pickles and the Germans. Yeah.
With the pickles and the Germans, how they.
Yeah, I come in and you're talking about hiding the fucking pickle with children, Polly. Don't make me shout.
Grant Lionheart says, "I still think the original beats The Departed in spades." I wouldn't go that far. Infernal Affairs is a really, really good movie, but it's the basic plot points that are copied rather than. I mean, obviously transplanted from Hong Kong to Boston. And the characters are quite different. I mean, I like them both a lot. I have no criticism, really, for either one of them. You know how I know a good movie? When I really hate a character. When I lose sight of the fact that they're a fake character. Like or you get really behind someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The movie makes you care. I'm like the psychiatrist in The Departed. I find her so double dealing and awful of a person who completely leaves aside all professional integrity at so many critical junctures in the film. And I'm not certain if you're supposed to be angry at her or you're supposed to find her a sympathetic character. I find her kind of deplorable in a lot of ways. And it's just a Farrah Frigga. I can't remember her name. It's just some actress playing this character, but when you care enough to actually go, God damn that bitch, and it's like, yeah, she's not real, but they managed to evoke that out of you. Did you ever feel that a minute watching any of the Disney Star Wars films? Couldn't care less.
No, I really didn't.
Yeah,
I've not watched all of them yet either. I've only seen the Force Awakens. I tried to watch Rogue One, but I fell asleep.
Rogue One is as close as I got to feeling something at the end when. Spoilers, I won't say what happens for everyone who isn't there, but just notice that none of those characters are in any of the later movies, if you know what I mean. There's a reason for that. It's a little tragic at the end, and I came close to actually feeling something for those characters, but the rest of them, I don't care what happens to Rey. I don't. It's just, she's not fleshed out or real enough of a person. They could be playing with stop motion action figures, and I'd find it as believable.
If she'd take her top off, I'd feel something.
Well, at least someone else admits that Daisy Ridley's an attractive woman.
I said this before.
So few people do. They're like, I think they're just angry at the character. And I'm not saying she's the most gorgeous woman who ever lived. It's like, just don't call her pig ugly. She's obviously not. I mean,
no, she's attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Formerly Rodline asks, by that measure,
poke
Polly
her in the force, you know what I mean?
By that measure, Polly is Love 3's company. Polly is Love 3's company. I mean, the television show, obviously. I'm not following you now. Oh, I was talking about Sargon when you came in and him.
Oh no, what's he done?
Nothing. He was talking about Cenk Uygur's run for Congress.
What?
Oh, you didn't know Cenk's running for Congress?
You didn't know?
If I walk away from the genre for 5 minutes, right? And he's okay.
It's going about as well as you would expect.
Honestly, I thought it was going to go better for him than this. Like, legitimately. All of this stuff is coming up. Like, he's a harsh-spoken guy. He loves to crack jokes, especially way back in the day, like 10 years ago or so. He had his own radio show, and he wasn't a progressive liberal quite yet, like a far-gone progressive liberal. And then, fairly recent stuff, 3-4 years ago, he's talking about Monkey was playing a video clip that I've seen being used several other places, where Cenk is arguing to Anna Kasparian that it shouldn't be a crime to sexually pleasure animals. That shouldn't be a bestiality offense.
What?
Yeah.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Yeah. He's like if you're...
Excuse me?
So basically what he's arguing is like, if you're fucking the animal, that is bestiality. There's no consent there. But if a woman sucks a horse off, are you trying to tell me the horse didn't enjoy it?
What?
I can hear the crickets in the
I've got
background.
nothing.
That's his argument.
Yeah.
And
what?
And Cenk has all sorts of hot takes like that. Like I don't think he's a stupid man. I think he's a persistent businessman, and I think he's pretty relentless in the way he pursues whatever he's currently doing. But he doesn't seem to have the intelligence to not say dumb shit, because goddamn is there a fuckload of it over the years. Comments like that, bestiality, etc.
He's had some fucking nuclear takes over the years, yeah.
Yeah. And now they're all coming out. It's Daily Beast that's reporting on it. Some of your larger Twitter slacktivists that are quoting them from things he said here and there and so forth. And it's like, well, I mean, is this really the person?
Mate, and somebody's going to start digging up shit on you.
Yeah. And so Sargon's video was perfectly titled, in my opinion. It was like, and then the filthy smear merchants came for Cenk. Yeah.
Well, is it so he's defending Cenk then?
Well, he says that repeatedly throughout he makes 2 points throughout the video that I don't think anybody should be held responsible for stuff that they said 10, 15, 20 years ago, especially if they admitted it and disavowed it before they were so-called caught. But even if they're making jokes, what's that got to do with their worldview, et cetera, et cetera? Goes, I think you can criticize Cenk on his ridiculous communist view of the world that's never going to work. It's completely, you can focus on that. But in the end, Cenk, you in part helped found this kind of outrage culture. You did this with Donald Trump. You did it with a bunch of other politicians. Look how awful these people are for what they said and what they did. And you say they're never absolved. Well, welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party, pal. No, I would agree with Sargon on that. Cenk has known. He knows what he said.
Yep.
Yeah.
He knows what he's freaking said. He said it years ago. There's plenty you can criticize him on now. You don't need to really dig into his past. Like, whatever.
Okay,
Mind you, I say that I've just released like an hour and 20-minute video digging into some crazy bitch's past for the last 5 years past. So
I saw that.
Yeah, she wasn't happy.
I had to watch it in 3 sittings. Like I watched a bit of it and then paused it and then did some other things, got some food, came back, watched some more, that kind of thing. That's a long video, man. That's
and
it
would have been longer as well.
It's not just that it's long; it's a tough slog because of her. You know what I mean? Watching her yell into the camera, all that shit. It just fucking nut bar.
Yeah, dude, you have no idea. There are things that I didn't include. Just bear that in mind. And the fact that I also sped up her sections as well.
Okay, what was the entirety of the context when we were talking on Twitter there? And the 6-month prediction, because God said so. How the hell did that come about? I'm unclear on that.
The thing is, mate, that's like asking, like, where did Santa come from? We don't know, like a trailer park on the moon or something. Like,
is that why he's Australian? Because we're moon people?
Yeah, moon people. That's it.
Oh, yay.
For those of you
that's where Australia is.
She said that
that my marriage would be falling apart in 6 months'
Alex
time.
and Vanilla Bear would be done in 6 months' time.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
mean,
don't know
So-
where
so
that came from.
The countdown is on then.
Yeah, it's on. The
I guess you
clock's
should-
fucking ticking. I'm saving my money.
yeah, enjoy it while it lasts, I guess, because how could she be wrong? What the fuck?
It's an honest prediction. I'll be hitting you up in about 5 months' time, Polly. For
need a
that
couch?
bachelor lifestyle coaching. You know,
It strikes me as an oddly, bizarrely personal thing to say. My reaction when I was in Discord with Far and some other people when we were talking, like, what? It's like saying to someone, "Your kids are gonna grow up to hate you." It's just bizarrely personal,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, like out of nowhere personal as well. You know?
that's the thing with Shani, is that she's insane. She'll say anything, whether it makes sense or not.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. Like the whole like the thing with her and G-Man, who she called the N-word. The thing is, like, they were friends,
Right.
you know, and when he rejected her advances, which I can imagine were a bit scary. Have you seen that
A
ass?
bit
Holy
scary?
shit! Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a bit fucking scary, dude.
Oh,
No,
I finally saw
terrifying.
this bodysuit picture where she was supposedly nude, right? You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, she accused me of sharing her nudes.
That was shocking, that picture. That is like, I'm not even making fun of fat people at this point. It's like, for your health, do something about what I saw in that picture.
Mm.
God damn, woman. Things
Yeah.
folding over other things, and oh man.
Yeah, once you start having, multiple butts,
Yeah.
maybe it's time to do something.
Got some ass on that ass.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I've heard big titty girls talk about how uncomfortable it is to run down a flight of stairs because things start bouncing, and it doesn't matter how many sports bras you have on, gravity takes effect, or
Yeah.
the mass takes effect, and things start jiggling to our delight and their discomfort. But when it's got to be the same thing when she runs down the stairs. You've seen them large flaps that have flaps. God, I think she slowly walks downstairs to keep the inertia small, you know?
She'd have to. She would have to. Otherwise, she'd go tumbling down like Monkey.
She's very, very bottom heavy, and I'm not even talking about her ass. Like the mass
just a
of
fact.
that lower section is.
just the fact that she's that bottom heavy.
Can you imagine the amount of energy she produces, like just walking from A to B, like thighs rubbing together, the heat
Yeah.
that comes from there? Just
If only we could harness this power, the energy crisis would be solved.
exactly. We could save the Earth from climate change and Extinction Rebellion.
Oh, yeah.
Expo Hotep says, LMAO, you think she can run.
If she did, I don't know what would happen.
Well, see, I brought up The Sopranos, and then I ended up getting off on a tangent. They do a bunch of Christmas episodes, and there's some funny stuff that happens in and around Christmas because they're Italian mobsters, so they have funny perspectives on some of the traditions as we're checking out. But that's what just reminded me of James Gandolfini, the actor who plays the main character, Tony. As the series goes on, he gets heavier and heavier and heavier. By the end of the season, you see the man sweat when he walks down a flight of stairs for a given scene. When he's sitting there eating, he starts sweating, and you see him wiping his forehead in the scenes continuously. Have you ever seen people that are so fat they sweat when they eat? This is not good.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I've made videos on fat people for a long time, Polly. I mean, fat videos have always been fun, hence why I've been doing them more and more often these days. Yeah, dude. I have a friend, actually, whose health was so bad, Polly. Like, even I was disgusted. What am I? Okay, so when I was 21, he was 19, and we were both serving in the Navy. But bear in mind, we were serving in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
And at 19, he had a health check. And they told him that he had the physical, like, body health of a 50-year-old.
Jesus. I mean, it is not easy on your heart muscle that's getting no exercise because of how large you are to pump blood around that large of a frame. It's not. Your heart is hurting, man. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't live the healthiest lifestyle I could, but when I look at people like that, I don't think, wow, I'm pretty healthy. I think, wow, I need to do better. Oddly enough. You know what I mean? It's because like I don't have as far to go as this person.
Exactly what you mean.
I feel extra lazy because it's like I don't actually have that much to do, and I still don't do it. You know, that's
Well, I look at these people and I imagine what would happen if you were to give them my medication, my ADHD medication.
Oh God, what? They'd just stop eating?
No. I mean, but don't get me wrong. Like my medication stops me from eating. Yeah, absolutely does.
No, because I'm on ADHD medication as well.
Well,
so I know
what are you on?
At the moment it's a slow release because I just can't.
Which one is it?
Concerta.
What's the
It's basically just Ritalin. It's just
okay, yeah. I tried Ritalin, nearly gave me a fucking heart attack. And that's the point I was trying to get. Like even my Elvance, which is different. It's not an amphetamine. It's like a Lexiapham amphetamine. So it goes in dead and it activates when it's in my system. That said, it still does make my heart go for it, right? Imagine if you stuck one of them pills in someone like Shani.
Oh God.
She'd fucking die.
Yeah.
Her heart would explode.
because you mean like because of the increased heart rate from the medication. She just
yeah, dude. Like she'd go.
Yeah, because it can increase your heart rate.
So just to be clear,
especially if you take like too much of it.
If you have ADHD and you take a medication that would give somebody else an increased metabolism and heart rate, if you're ADHD prone, that actually calms one down. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like you know I used to drink Monster by the bucket.
Right.
Well, it's not just the taste that I like, dude. It used to keep me calm.
It would chill you out stimulants.
Yeah.
Cool.
Stimulants don't stimulate me if that makes sense. It calms me down.
I mean, I believe it. It's just so incredibly counterintuitive. You know what I mean?
I know it sounds insane, doesn't it?
Yeah. I believe it. Don't get me wrong. It's just wild. That's all.
No, I used to do the same thing with energy drinks. Coffee didn't do it for me though. That makes me just go fucking psycho for whatever reason. But energy drinks though, and sugar in general, it doesn't actually make me go hyper. It's just kind of a, oh look, I'm more awake, I guess.
Yeah, I don't. I'm exactly. You don't feel hyper at all.
Yeah,
you're just awake and you have more energy, but it's not like how it would, like if you were to take it, Polly, you'd be bouncing off the walls, mate.
Right.
You'd want to run, but for us, it's different. We're just like, oh, okay, I'm not tired. That's about it. We're able to focus a lot better than what we were before. Whereas before, it's we can't concentrate on something for longer than a minute or so.
Yeah, I already have problems with anxiety.
Specific.
I don't need that.
Yeah, there are things that we can concentrate on, but those are things that we have to really, really like.
Yeah, but that's the only reason why I'm good at drawing, is because that was the one thing that I could focus on for long periods of time.
Yeah, for me, it's writing, Not that I'm good at writing, mind you, but...
We were talking yesterday about knitting, and a few people in the comments, and then a few people by DMs, because I was like, I got some issues with anxiety. I know, shocker, right? But I do. And it was a friend who was in her graduate program in psychology as a therapist. She brought up knitting. That was the first time that it had ever been suggested to me, and I was like, knitting? What am I, a granny? Like, that was my reaction. She said, no, you don't understand. It's very zen. Lots of zen people do it and stuff because you need to, and in her description of it's methodical. It requires just enough of your attention to focus in on something. I thought I was going to get eaten alive by Jack, because I mean, the drunkards that come here, they're a surly bunch. I love them to death, but they're surly.
Well, they were called us old ladies.
They were. But then there were comments underneath the video, and people hit me up by DMs, and they're like, yeah, one person said in chat that they paint, another person in DMs said that they focus on precision jewelry. Another person says they do fly fishing, like, the little fly lures. Very detailed work with a magnifying glass, lots of wire. So more detailed really calms me the hell down. And so I'm glad to hear somebody else say that kind of thing. I'm like, Whew, I didn't sound like an old lady. That's good. At least not to everyone.
Well, a lot of people do that. Knitting, crocheting, all that kind of stuff.
We call it
Just to-
crotcheting on this continent.
No, you do not. No, you do fucking not. Don't spread
Why does no one
lies.
believe me?
No, that's just you, Polly, with your weird pronunciations of things.
We established this earlier, Polly. It's because you're a fucking liar.
I'm a delightful scamp. It's different. It's
And
Fucking
since
lying,
like,
delightful
I love
scamp.
aquariums.
Aquarians.
Aquarium.
Oh, aquariums.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
That's in. It's in the chat. It's in their
Oh,
comment.
I am drunk. So drunk. I cannot.
Yeah, I like
get up.
looking at them.
thank you very much for the tip, Mr. Scott. He says, can you explain to Alex what over the top is? It was referenced by Jason in his video, but of course, he turned it. Hold on, my screen went off. He turned it at frontwards because he's an idiot. POS. Over the Top is playing on YouTube movies for free right now. It's a movie you can watch with your kid, Alex. Now, let me get this straight. Were you beaten up on Over the Top there, Alex?
I don't know what that movie is.
It's an arm wrestling movie where Sylvester Stallone plays a truck driver who's also an expert competitive arm wrestler. And he's got this slick secret move that he does where he twists his wrist over the top. And he's able to defeat opponent after opponent. And the story is about him and his kid and winning his kid's respect and praise and stuff like that. Big emotional story. It's Rocky, kind of, but wrapped up in arm wrestling instead of boxing.
Okay.
Were you mocking this film?
I wasn't mocking it, no.
Okay.
I mind in a minute.
And of course Sinatra's there. That's the aquariums dude, calming as fuck. Also, great hobby, lol. Yeah, fuck you, man. Shit.
Knitting is fine.
I can...
It's 100% fine.
People have told me that about video games, and it's just because I'm not a gamer, I never clued into that. That would be really calming. If it's not like an intense game, it's a inventory puzzle game, or it's about running around collecting things like Breath
You
of
would
the Wild.
love Stardew Valley.
You'd start do?
Stardew Valley.
Yeah, could have sworn you said something else.
It's a game that has puzzles, and you go around collecting
Oh,
things, and you...
I saw a review of it from this one YouTuber that I really like, and I brought it up with. Far was explaining to me this game that she was playing with Platy, and I said, have you ever heard of this game? It reminds me of that. It's like, yeah, that's the game, Stardew Valley. I was like, oh.
Yeah, we're literally playing it. And you go like, yeah, it reminds me of this game.
I can see that being really common for someone that's had a hard day at work, just wanting to sit there and play 4 hours of video games instead of sitting there stewing about how bullshit their boss is or their working environment is. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
escape into this calming environment where you get to do whatever the fuck. I can see
Stardew
that.
Valley.
That's what I swear I heard you say. That's not what you said?
I thought you did say that as well.
No, that's how it's... Jew. That's how it's pronounced. Jew.
Oh, you're just being British with it. I get you.
Yeah.
That wasn't.
So I bet to Americanize it and go, do.
That wasn't a triple parenthesis. Stab. It
Stardew
wasn't-
Valley. Come on down to Stardew Valley.
I love how as soon as it's American, it's yokel to you.
Yeah.
Like slack-jawed, incestuous yokel. Why?
Because it's the
Well,
easiest thing to imitate.
It really is. It's the easiest.
My God.
Do you have orange juice behind the bar?
No, but and not unless you're mixing it with vodka. But
We have juice boxes.
we do have juice boxes. That's what I was just about to say.
I would accept a juice box.
See, Polly, people like juice boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Bar's trying to convince me that as a,
But have a
as a
plastic straw.
grown woman, it's not a problem to drink juice boxes.
It's not a problem. There's nothing wrong with a juice box.
I never said there was anything wrong with it. I merely said it was hilarious.
Well, it's because it's cute when a woman does it.
No shit, right? That's exactly what
Yeah.
it comes down to.
It better be a plastic straw and not those fucking paper ones.
A plastic
no,
straw with
only
a
the
little
finest
bendy part.
plastics.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zombie Teddy says he plays Animal Crossing. Yeah, so does Far. That's
I don't play it anymore, but I did for, oh god, way too long.
I know
I used to play that shit fast in high school.
I'm trying to understand why, like, once you're finished an aquarium, so Sin says, I'm building an aquarium, very calming, whatever. But I mean, this first of all, his aquarium destroyed his floor. That's not calming. And then once you built it, what's calm? Staring at the fish? Because they're all very, like, they're swimming in this aquatic environment. It's all very relaxing. Is that the idea?
I think it's like, yeah, the colors as well. You know,
Okay.
the blues, the light reflecting off the blues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's why I find the game Subnautica so goddamn relaxing, even though it's also simultaneously terrifying. It's hard to explain that game. So there was a game journalist that wrote a piece about it, and he was much better at articulating his thoughts on it than what I could be. He said it's really good for like people with anxiety, also at the same time really bad for people with anxiety. I don't know. It's the sounds of the water, you know, the nice blues and different colors and stuff, and like it really appeals to the autism as well. Like because you go around collecting materials and shit. You know, you know you have to go around getting bits for different things that you need.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's why Stardew Valley is so relaxing.
No, I mean, I saw the elements of it in that one like half-hour video review that I watched. She was kind of showing the farm that she built and how you have to collect things and then make things happen. Lots of inventory jazz. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
See, I'm hoping that's what Red Dead 1 and 2 turn into. Obviously not as chill as all that because you're getting in gunfights, but running around and collecting things and doing mysteries and extra DLC shit. I'm hoping there's just dozens of hours of gameplay there for me inside that world because it looks great. I'm really looking forward to that game. Both of them.
I've watched Neebs. Well, they haven't got a lot of it, but Neebs Gaming, who are my favorite YouTubers, they have a couple of videos up, which are hilarious, by the way, of Red Dead Redemption, and the world looks stunning. It really does. It looks gorgeous.
Like when I hear Zelthor talking about Breath of the Wild, and he's like, you can just play this game forever. It's a whole fucking world. It's so big. You can just run around in there forever. And he did play it for a long, long time. That's one I'm hoping to get out of Red Dead. That it's that kind of world that you can just kind of, cool, let's head off to the Old West for a while, you know?
Yeah. Green Thunder Mighty Subnautica's great. Yeah, it is. It's a fantastic game. And it's like, it appeals to the autistic in me because for me, it's like a process. Like I know what comes in order, you know? In order to get off the planet. But the second one, Below Zero, which is still in alpha, but they've come a long way in terms of updating it. Like you can get pretty far now. I haven't been playing it. I've played maybe about 2 or 3 hours of it. It's not like the first one. It's not relaxing. It's fucking terrifying. It's so much more terrifying than the first one.
Thank you very much, ex-Bubba Hotep. Tip for the bartender. And it's greatly appreciated. It all goes right back into the bar.
So any game in VR, really. I mean, but some people say they get motion sickness with VR, don't they?
I could see that. I'm prone to motion. When I try and read in a car, oh man, the world starts spinning and shit.
Yeah. I think I'd just end up falling over.
Yeah, I've never done VR, so I don't have any idea. Maybe I'd be like totally cool with it. But if the indications are from what I've had motion sickness from, yeah, it doesn't look good. That was supposed to say tip. Well, that's why I read it like that. I assumed it ex-Bubba Hotep wrote top by accident, but that's fine. I read it as tip.
I'd like to try VR. I know that they're a lot cheaper now, aren't they? Those the headsets.
How much are they running now?
Oh, let me have. What was the big one called?
Oculus.
Oculus. Yeah. There's one called Quest now.
Okay.
My eldest asked for, and I was like, no, no.
Here's a quick little side note, something I started before, and I just want to close this tab. I said, well, come on,
£350.
350.
Well, that's the Oculus Rift S,
which is
£350. Let me have a look on Amazon for this shit.
All right. I said, who doesn't know that? And the thing was what the X in Xmas stands for. I'm like, Christ. It's a shortening of Christ. It's the first letter in Christos in Greek is X.
£299.90.
Am I the only one who knew this?
Well, I didn't know it was that, but I knew it was a shortening of Christmas.
Yeah, well, it's so why X of all letters, because it's Christos, Greek for Christ, starts with an X.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess that's not that
Nothing to do with Santa's midget porn movies, then. Sad. Very sad.
No. And he's churning those out of the back door out of the North Pole. Believe me. You think he stops working? He starts filming in the summer.
Oh, you don't want Santa working in the summer. Imagine how sweaty he'd be then.
That's still cold up there. Don't buy that climate change shit.
Well, imagine Santa coming to Australia. It's summer here.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Like,
It's the Southern Hemisphere in general, yeah.
Okay. Alex, have you ever heard this song, the Six White Boomers?
No.
Okay. It's like this kind of corny, catchy little Christmas jingle. It's six white boomers, snow whitey boomers. You know, I saved you guys the pain of having to list me to actually hit notes. Don't worry about it. See, Santa Claus goes down to deliver presents in Australia, but the reindeer can't take the heat. So he has six white kangaroos ride him around while he's down there. Push his sleigh around, pull his sleigh around. And that's what the whole song's about. A boomer's a nickname for a kangaroo?
Not Bloodwing, then.
No.
No, it's
No.
not six white blood wings.
Yeah.
But he's a boomer.
And
It's not the right kind of boomer.
So see, this is the thing. When I was talking to Far the other day, I said, if I type in white boomer into DuckDuckGo image search, am I going to get a picture of an old Republican or am I going to get a white kangaroo?
You're going to get an old man.
I got white kangaroos.
You did?
I did.
He absolutely did.
And so anyway, it surprised me because, you know, Aussies aren't fans of a lot of the stereotypes that run around about them. Like, put another shrimp on the Barbie. I'm sure they're not all sick of that reference yet.
Yes.
Right. So, Christmas season coming up. So about a week or two ago, whatever the fuck it was, I mentioned to Far, oh yeah, Six White Boomers. She goes, what's wrong with that song? I love that song. And I was like, oh, well, I thought that song would have been anathema in Australia, that people would have hated it because it's like, yeah, Santa's pulled around by kangaroos, of course. And it's like, no. It's an adorable song, apparently, in their mind.
It's fine. It's all the snow stuff I have a problem with here.
It's just, it snows where you're at, right, Alex?
Sometimes.
Does it get snowy around Christmas? Do you ever have a white Christmas?
No, not really. It's been a while since we've had a white Christmas. The UK's a bit messed up when it comes to weather. A couple of years back, I was walking to the shops, you know, in May, and it started snowing. Our weather's very similar to the fucking Falklands at this point. It's just random and not very nice.
Mr. Dax says, no, the X is for the doubt Thomas had. Okay, that was clever. All right, that was funny. I mean, it wasn't a rib tickler knee slapper, but I giggled. What? Shut up, Far. It was funny. I heard
There's a cosplayer on Instagram who is just... She's cosplaying Marjorie Tyrell, and she legit looks like what's her face? I forget her fucking name.
Marge Simpson.
Out.
The Arthur.
No, the fucking actress who plays Marjorie and Anne Boleyn in The Tudors.
Judi Dench.
No.
Oh.
The fuck's wrong with you? Fuck's sake. Judy fucking Dench.
That's Dame Judy to you, subject.
Fuck you, bitch. Dame.
She is a dame, isn't she?
Yeah, she is a dame.
Okay. Does it work with dames like it does with lords or sirs? Like it's Sir Alex, not Sir. Well, no. It's...
Now, thank you, Raijin, who says Natalie Dormer. Thank you. That's who I was talking about. Yeah, she looks a little bit like her. Well, in the rest of her picture, she doesn't. But when she's cosplayed as Marjorie Tyrell, she looks like Natalie Dormer, who's a sexy bitch, by the way. And she's on the kidnap list.
Just gonna look up this Natalie.
You see
Dormer.
her titties in The Tudors, which is a great show, by the way. Jonathan Rhys-Meyers plays Henry for 4 seasons, and it's obviously not completely historically accurate, but very few shows are. But I do recommend it. It's a great fucking show to watch, and it's sexy.
Oh, Natalie Dormer. I see her now. Yeah, she's okay.
There's a scene in The Tudors where Natalie Dormer is getting fucked by Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. You know, obviously Henry and Anne Boleyn. You know, and she's like, "Don't come in me," and he's like, "What?" And then he has to pull himself out of her to just jizz on the ground. It's fantastic.
Oh, here's air chat. There we go. Here's Natalie Dormer. That's she must be using that Kim Kardashian titty tape that she now sells with a dress like that.
Jesus.
Did you know that
Forgot about
Kim
this one, right?
Kardashian sells her own titty tape?
No.
Yeah.
Titty tape as in videotape or tape that you put onto your
Tits.
things that need
like strip adhesive on a strip tape.
All right then.
Yeah. Like to and as we saw, she was basically using it as a tape bra to like hold her tits in one position or to tape the dress, because when you're walking around and stuff like this, it's easy for a tit to fly loose,
Well, the more you know.
Do you have any idea how much that titty tape costs?
I bet it costs a lot, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I don't know how much it costs, but I don't think it's as nearly as much as the 2-sided tape you could buy from the hardware store. Fuck, seriously. I mean, girls have been using 2-sided tape for fucking decades to hold dresses together and stuff. Oh, but now Kim Kardashian has complexion sensitive, it comes in a bunch of different colors and, because apparently, and 3 colors, by the way, there's her complexity of diversity in her mind.
Well, I mean, if they sell, they sell.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking the hustle. If you can sell
Titty
stuff,
tape.
yeah, if you could. Well, at least titty tape is functional. It's overpriced and it's expensive, but there's a function that it has. Look at the stuff that Gwyneth Paltrow sells through Goop.
Doesn't Gwyneth Paltrow do the vagina crystals?
Yes, that's her.
That too.
The vagina egg. Yeah.
Boob tape.
It's
Okay.
all very, what do you want to call it? Like new agey garbage bullshit. This will center your chakra and make sure your chi and body humors are in alignment, all sorts of shit like that.
Yeah.
In other words, complete malarkey.
Booby tape nude, £16.
How much is that? Does it say how many feet of tape you get?
Let's go into it. Oh my god, my internet history, dude. It's actually on sale at the moment. It's originally £18. So it's £2 off at the moment. 5-meter roll.
Oh shit! Time to buy your titty tape.
What is? How close is a meter to a yard? Pretty damn close, isn't it?
Yards to meters.
It's like 15 feet, somewhere around there.
I don't know. That's a good deal.
Yeah, that is quite a bit.
Yeah, I use it on my nuts.
Go to the hardware store, Alex. For God's sake. Whew.
There you go. You gonna buy some titty tape, Polly?
No, I'm good. Okay.
Okay. That's fair.
I don't have anything that moves of its own volition. It's fine. Oh, look, here's another picture of her in... Man, she really wears a lot of swooping neckline stuff, this woman. Natalie Dormer.
She's a sexy lady. She's classy, too.
No. If you want sexy, classy, in English, Rebecca Hall. That's where it's at.
You always gone about Rebecca Hall.
Yeah. I recognize
time.
sexy class when I see it.
I need to look at her again. Okay, She's got a very meaty neck, hasn't she?
She has a gorgeous swan-like neck. What are you talking
That
about?
is not swan-like.
I don't know what you're carrying on about right now. Meaty neck.
It's a bit meaty.
Nah.
It's a bit thick.
Oh well,
It looks in this picture it is anyway.
them
Other
thighs
pictures
are
aren't,
thick.
so-
She ain't no thigh
The
gap
whole,
skinny
where's that
lady.
fucking full picture? Well, I don't like the thigh gap thing. I like a fuller woman.
Oh yeah, and she's in.
Where's that full body picture? I need to look at the thigh potential. Well, she's a natural beauty, is what she is.
Oh Lord, yes.
Yeah, she's one of those who's still pretty without the makeup on.
Mm-hmm.
But she cleans up very nicely too. But that neck is awfully meaty.
I don't know where you're getting this from.
Like there's some pictures that it's like a giraffe, and then other ones she's like Stone Cold Steve Austin thick level, like. She's got those nice hips though.
Oh wow.
Her knees are a bit.
Oh, she's got long fawn-like legs. It's kind of awesome.
Yeah, but her knees are a bit protruding.
Hey, Far, look at this. Evolved Potato just
See, then that's a good
sent
picture.
it, just tweeted this at me.
Yeah, no, I saw.
An Aussie night before Christmas. What is supposed to be in the back of that truck? Giant red and green things.
Like the Christmas bags.
Oh,
Sacks?
got it. Okay. All right. Oh, I see. He's being pulled around in a bogan truck. I get it. It's like a broken down truck without an engine. That's why they're pulling him in it.
Jeez. Yeah, that is fucking broken as fuck. Holy crap.
It looks like it's rust colored.
Yeah, that's about right.
I like that. I'd buy it.
The rust truck?
Hmm.
The
Could be worse. It could be the fuck truck.
well, Apple Aces Natalie Dormer reminds me of a young Michelle Pfeiffer. I can see that. I can see it. You're Michelle Pfeiffer from like Scarface, for example. Yeah, they look similar. A little bit bony.
A little bit bony.
Yeah, and
Do you like a bone? Do you?
I don't mind. See, here's the thing. Thin women that have that sort of gymnast look about them, that they're short, it's when they're super long and lanky and beanpole-y. That's when it becomes kind of less attractive to me personally.
Yeah, I mean, the triage nurse that I saw in the hospital the other night was very much like that. Just skin and bone. Like she would have been, attractive if she had a bit more meat on her.
Mm-hmm.
And she had that Eastern European accent on her as well.
In a bad way? Like Eurotrash?
No, in a good way.
Okay.
It was the voice was nice, the accent was nice, but just the face was pretty. Like she too was a natural beauty, dare I say. But she need that meat on her.
Let's see here. Oh yeah. I'm just growing into the excuse me.
Meghan Markle doesn't look like a man.
No.
She looks like a sex doll, is what she looks like.
Metaphor says double-sided tape is $10 on Amazon. I love it.
No, Meghan Markle is not an ugly woman. She doesn't look like a man. She's not Michelle Obama. Calm down. Like she's a good-looking woman. She really is. I had a big thing for her when I first saw her, like when Suits first started.
Right.
I was like, I'm gonna kidnap that bitch. But ever since she come over here, like I don't know what happened to her. Like I think the Queen killed her and stuffed her, and now she's a sex doll for Harry.
Wow.
Have you seen that one that one GIF or like video where she's turning her head and she's like sat next to Harry and stuff, and she's kind of like holding this look where her eyes are wide open and she's smiling, and it's like her face isn't moving in the slightest, and she's tilting to the side like a ventriloquist fucking puppet.
Really?
It's really freaky. It really is. But she's also a massive bitch, and that's a problem.
Who, Markle?
Yeah. She's ever since she came over here, she's just causing trouble.
Really?
Yeah, her security, like she's had to go through like at least two teams of security guards because she's that much of a cunt. Like she's caused drama between Harry and William as well.
No shit. That's so I don't know. Like, what? I know it's gonna sound funny, but what is she, like the princess type? If you know what I mean. Like, is she very?
Well, yeah, I imagine that she would be very much like that. I doubt she was always like that. Like, you know, with the arrogance and stuff, but.
That's kind of funny.
Go on.
I was going to say, like, what is she, a woman that's used to being pretty? I've seen members of her family, and you know, hey, she's clearly the pretty one of the bunch.
She's very domineering, as well. Like she's caused drama between like William, and Kate, you know. As well, that's a bit of a fucking problem. She's far too opinionated, as well.
Don't you hate when women have opinions?
Well, no, she's a part of the royal fucking family, and there is a certain what would be the term, Polly?
Aloof?
No, your expected behavior.
Oh, I understand.
What's the word?
A royal demeanor, that sort of thing.
Expectation.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with those. Those aren't the words I was thinking of, but yeah, she's not behaving like a royal, is what I'm saying.
A certain regal manner.
No, that's not it either. But
well, you're the Brit. I don't know.
I can't remember. I've not had my medication, dude.
Maybe take your medication. That might help.
No, I'm in work tonight. I can't take it until just before going work. Otherwise, I won't sleep before going to work. Thank you, Sinatra. Yeah, decorum. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Really? That was the word you were going for.
Yeah, decorum is expected of a royal.
Mm-hmm.
It's why the Queen fucking despised Diana. It's why she, you know, had her yeeted in a French tunnel.
Is that why? Jesus Christ. I thought it's because she was pregnant with Yaffe's kid. What was his name? Not Yaffe.
Oh, fucking hell. You're going back some years now, man. I remember when that happened, too.
What was his name? Yachty? Yaffe? Yodi?
Dodie.
Yeah.
He sounds like a Pokemon, doesn't he?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Well, no, the royals hated Diana, even before all that. Hated her because she was a lady of the people. Because she was a commoner, you know.
Yeah. A commoner. That's just so un-American to
imagine
say
being
things
attracted
like
to
that.
Charles. By the way.
Yeah. You know what I find funny? I have more
the
English
idea of grabbing
heritage.
Charles by the ears and riding him around.
I have more legitimate English heritage than the Queen of England. I find that very weird. Bunch of fucking Germans.
Well, if you want to come over and boot them out of Windsor Castle, mate, crack on. All hail His Majesty.
Running a double scene.
King Polydub. Shit, I could use a change.
Yeah, that would be a radical shit.
I'd prefer you over fucking the idea of Charles becoming king. Fuck that.
I would love having an otter head on my $5 notes. Just say it.
I want
throughout the Commonwealth, right? It's nothing but otters on money. I love it.
I want an otter on the £10 note.
See, I've got Rebecca Hall up here on the screen because, my God, a big part with her though is when she cut her hair short. It was like, aw, because she had this massive mane of gorgeous brown hair, and it was like, fucking hell. I mean, why'd she have to go get married? You know what I mean? Ruin my rich fantasy life and all.
Tell her, send her a strongly worded letter.
I mean, and if you look at this, I mean, look at her here by candlelight. I mean, my God, that's a little heavy on the eye makeup, but she's bewitching. I mean, whew. That is a sexy lady. What was the other one here? These were all images that.
Oh yeah, speaking of the royals, is it
yeah.
Prince Andrew? Is it who's in the shit right now?
I don't know.
For the whole Epstein pedo business.
Yeah, like he's been like jizzing on kids and stuff or something.
Whoa! What?
What?
No, I hadn't heard that part. That's Jesus.
No, that is a gorgeous picture, by the way.
Oh, of her smiling?
No, she's not smiling.
Oh, the one by candlelight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it hasn't gone to whatever one you
Okay.
switched to yet.
Oh, the one by
Oh, there we
her by candlelight. That's an amazing picture.
Go back. Go back.
Hold on.
Go back.
Yeah, you know what? I should throw up a picture that would. Oh, there's what's her name? Laura Harrier. Gorgeous woman, Laura Harrier. There we are. Yeah, now that's a classy lady. Again, a little heavy on the eye makeup, but oh man,
I don't mind that.
the heavy eye makeup.
I don't mind it. It's when they go too heavy on the concealer that they look ridiculous.
Yeah, you can still see her freckles and everything, so she's obviously not gone too far.
It just looks like someone's put some plaster on her fucking face, you know, and just spooged it across. Spackling, you know.
Ryan Walters says I walked into jizzing. I'm sorry to hear that. That's a rough way to enter a room, man.
Bring an umbrella next time.
Jesus.
Oh dear.
So
So what's going on with Prince Andrew?
I don't know. What did you legit? You heard something about PD to the P to the E to the D to the O jizzing? What?
Well, I see stuff in the news from time to time, and I have heard you guys talk about it, and I see it on Twitter. Didn't like he have a deal with Epstein or something? You know, he'd send him kids to jizz on or something.
Wow. No, I had not heard that.
Sex trafficking. He was a customer of Epstein's, I believe.
No shit.
Great.
Well, that's what I saw. Allegations, obviously. Don't kill me. I thought there might be some more to it than that. That's why I was asking.
Don't know. I don't really keep up with it, to be honest.
Yeah. I can't imagine there's you'd want to keep up with the idea of kids being jizzed on.
Yeah, no.
Stop saying it.
Generally,
Well, I came into this hangout and you were talking about fucking kids being molested by Santa.
No,
Fucking
we were
German
talking.
hide the sausage fucking game.
Yeah, we were that. Thank you. We were not. Oh my God.
So, Polly, did you want to move on to Jahan's?
Yeah, we could.
Now that he's here.
Yes, a fellow subject of the British Isles is. We've been hearing some research in and around. What's his name? Alexander Gordon Jahans.
Yep, that is exactly it.
It's actually my full name. You just doxed me.
Oh shit. Well, I hope you're not this guy, because then we would have some serious questions, you know.
Go ahead, ask away.
Well, hold on, really quick first. I did want to look at one thing. This was because it is Christmas tide, and we like talking about Christmassy things, and I didn't really get to cover this, but it won't go on that long. These are 50 best weird Christmas ornaments. Some of these I like, some of them suck. You guys can see them. I mean, the squirrel in underwear, I frankly don't understand. Why is that a thing?
I don't know, maybe Jack got really involved in the Christmas ornaments this year.
Why did he put underwear on the squirrel, though?
I don't know, maybe he thought it needed modesty.
And the porcelain dry ramen star? It's a star made out of ramen noodles. I mean,
Nice.
Has Monkey been getting into the Christmas ornament business?
Thank you,
Well,
Pink Carly,
obviously.
for that link. I'll check it out afterwards, mate. Sorry. Let's have a look at these ornaments. What the fuck? I didn't even look at the squirrel. The thing beneath it.
Yeah,
The
what is
merman. Why is that Christmassy?
It's a veterinarian merman hottie.
But since when was that a part of Christmas ever?
I don't know. Why is the moist thing for Christmas? Like, I mean, these are...
Did Megan get in on this as well?
And then, well, if we go down a little bit further, there's a glass toilet plunger. Did Scribe get in on this?
This is like all the memes
Yeah.
rolled into one.
And
the
this,
Christmas decorations for cougars.
yeah, and then the sand tour. That's kind of funny. I love the black pilled Christmas ball though. Meh, and it's black. I love that. It's the slacker's Christmas ornament.
Well, there was a poo emoji on one of those.
There was it is a snowman with cubic zirconia and poop.
Great.
You know this
That's
shit started on Kickstarter as well. You know that, right? It definitely
Yeah,
started
it
there.
had to.
Or
It had
Etsy.
people for this.
Yeah.
Somebody's crappy little crafts. I do like the meh Christmas ball. That one's funny. The flamingo pirate ornament. That's not Christmassy. That's just some crap you found on Etsy.
Yeah.
And if we go down here a little further, I realize you guys got to catch up. But there's a Brussels sprout ornament. Why?
That kind of makes sense, actually.
How so?
Well, I mean, Brussels sprouts. I mean, it's the only time that I've ever been served Brussels sprouts is on fucking Christmas. A chainsaw?
Yeah,
Yes.
what the fuck is up with that?
It's a bloody
Oh,
chainsaw.
the Iron Throne. That's cool. I mean, it's not
Oh, yeah.
Christmassy in the slightest, but
Yeah.
I like it.
There's a 6-inch banana slug. That's wonderful.
I don't know who the fuck that's for.
I
do-
don't like that chicken.
the chicken butt.
I don't like that.
Don't you get like? Guess what? What? Chicken butt. It's the thing you say to make kids laugh. You don't think that's funny?
No. No, I really don't.
Is it because the butt's shiny with sparkles around it? Is that why?
Yeah, that might be a part of it.
Oh fuck. Okay, so the spicy Szechuan sauce ornament, very nice.
Okay. This is just super confusing.
Yeah,
Balls.
yeah.
Like,
It's
why
balls
the
ball.
fuck is there also big
Dying snowman?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me scroll up. I missed that one.
What? Sorry to just kind of spurg out
Oh,
a few
yeah.
words there.
Yeah. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, and he's slowly melting. It's a dying
I'm
snowman.
dreaming of a white woman.
Jesus.
There's a vacuum cleaner.
There is for your woman. Oh, it's personalized too.
For the lady in your life.
Yeah, that's just what I want. A Christmas ornament that's a fucking vacuum. Yes. That'll remind me of my place in the house.
How about the deviled egg? Why? Just why?
I mean, you have a very interesting Christmas tree, I guess, if you had a lot of these on there.
The unicorn
Yeah,
in
I
Lederhosen? That is the gayest unicorn I have ever seen.
Let's get a look at it. It's still catching up.
Yeah, it'll come up here in a second. It's a golden unicorn wearing pink Lederhosen with a purple shirt and purple shoes. It's pretty gay.
It's also a bit German as well. Oh yeah.
Oh my god. So it's all the gay rolled into one
Ich liebe
ornament.
mein Lederhausen. Send that to Badger. He'll love it.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll keep the tab open.
Mm.
Oh, nice. I gotta send these to Frosted Glass. There's some Groucho Marx glasses with the mustache and everything. A big fat cat.
I like really like. You ever see a big fat cat?
Yes,
I like them.
Yes.
they don't live very long, you know.
Yeah, but that's okay.
You're all
Hey,
right with that.
Well, I mean, it's not my cat.
I was 19. It was fine.
Okay, how are the two sets of hairy balls a friendship test?
I don't know. What?
Blitzer the T-Rex has just come up on the screen, and I would buy that. He's got a Santa hat on, so it's Christmassy.
Yeah. When you wait for the screen to scroll down, you'll see the friendship test in the bottom right-hand corner. Those look like two sets of hairy balls as Christmas ornaments.
Oh my god. Well, I guess the friendship test is like, don't let your balls touch? I don't know.
Now I can see them.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's.
I mean, I buy them just to yeet them at the fucking missus.
LG's why for the love of God,
I am
stop.
drunk, so drunk, I cannot get up.
Cryptic, thank you very much for the tip. Where's the coat hanger? Abortion got to be represented. Jeez. Hell, everything else in here is equally tacky. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the tip. Yeah, why not? And then Santa's rain beer. So it's 6 little bottles of beer with reindeer antlers for bottle caps.
Great.
And it's only $29.72 at Amazon.
What a steal.
Look at the Christmas ball beside it. Santa's sad face, and it says, "You sit on a throne of lies."
What? Oh my god! That's so depressing.
Like, what?
Holy shit! You know, for that Santa in your life, you sit on a throne of lies.
I don't get it. Why is he sad? Is it like they're saying Santa sits on a throne of lies, or you do? I'm
not sure.
Polly, before I go, Sinatra would like to ask you the question. Did you see the thing he sent you? Which is most likely a picture of a horse penis, I imagine.
I wouldn't be surprised. No, he's talking about a DM thing, and I looked at it, but I cannot remember off the top of my head what it is. I'm just going there right now to take a look. Have you seen this? He asks in all caps. I'm assuming to be yelling. Wait for it to load.
Polly!
Oh, The Mandalorian's Baby Yoda further exposes fandom's Mary Sue hypocrisy. Yeah, I fucking saw that, all right.
I'll be right back. Just gotta turn the light off.
Sure. They can't. The writers are so used to being able to say the istphobes of the toxic fandom and all of their white male blah blah blah, when everybody except for the extremely angry are loving Mandalorian and loving Baby Yoda. You know what I mean? Like no one's got any complaints about it. The only people that are complaining are the people that sat there with a stopwatch to notice that it took 19 minutes and 20 seconds for the first woman to have a speaking role in the episode.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I'm not even kidding. They were tweeting about that, and it was very, very few people. It's just everybody seems to love this show.
Really? Someone sat there as like, I'm timing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was timing.
You know how you know that it was a bunch of different people doing it and had figured out to do it beforehand? Because they all had different times. You know, so did they stop this? Did they start the stopwatch at the beginning when the credits were rolling, or after? Because it's either 18:30 or 19:20 or whatever. But they all actually sat there and watched a second for second clock running. You pathetic bastards. Tell me you're not looking for problems when you're timing Bechdel tests and first speaking role for the Whammons.
Their lives must be pretty good.
You'd have to imagine this is a fulfilling life they live, huh?
You can't have any other problems in your life right now if you're doing that.
Ryan Walters asks, do you know what a Mary Sue is? Yes, when you complain that... The complaint about a Mary Sue character is somebody that is usually a self-insert of them on behalf of the writer inserting themselves into the story, but more generally it refers to a character. Think of Rey from the new Star Wars Disney films. She's a great example of a Mary Sue character. Everybody likes them. They are flawless. They can't do anything wrong. They pick up new skills in an instant. Everybody around them is stupid and telling them how smart they are all the time. That's Rey. Took Luke.
It's like an isekai anime character, really.
Yeah. It took, and they're fantastically OP, and the list goes on, right? They're too perfect, and any flaws that they have are endearing flaws. Like, they don't understand what a hard worker they are. They can't appreciate their own greatness. These are their flaws. And that's generally what a Mary Sue is.
The kind of lies you tell an employer when they ask you if you have any weaknesses.
Yeah. I remember that episode of The Simpsons where Homer's in a group interview with two other guys, and I say, all of you, please name your worst quality. And the one guy says, well, I'm a bit of a workaholic. And the other guy says, well, I've really got a problem with being too giving. And then Homer says, well, I'm a bit of a goof off. Stuff starts disappearing from the office. I tend to leave early.
Oh, God, yeah.
I wasn't asked that question in my interview. I really wish I had been, though.
Would you have lied or given an actual answer?
Oh, God, I would have lied through my fucking ass, mate. Of course, I would have turned into Captain Bullshit. You know? But like, I would love to have turned around and say, yeah, I've got this really bad temper. When I see shit that gets on my tits, like my boss saw it, and I kind of regret showing it. But that last night shift I did was a bad one, and it's when I thought I'd lost my job. I haven't lost my job, by the way. I made a mistake. I realized after I'd made the mistake, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get fucking fired, because the mistake that I made is an offense where you can be fired for, right?
Yeah, I remember you telling a story. Really quick, Cryptic, thank you for the tip. Ray is going to be gay. Called it. I so hope you're wrong.
But I kind of want to see her kiss with another woman.
I am okay with watching Daisy Ridley make out with another woman, but it's not going to be that, and we know it. It's going to be, you know, them against the world, and nobody understands their love, and
they'll be holding hands, and it'll be a really epic shot where you'll see the back of them, and they're holding hands, and there's
it's gonna be like Legend of Korra style, where they're just holding hands. It's like nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, I made that fucking mistake, and I was like, oh shit, you know, and there was no one I could call. It was the middle of the night. I knew my boss was coming in and everything, and then it got exacerbated times 100 because I went onto the company website and I was looking for the articles, and I seen International Men's Day, and I was like, okay, let's have a look what they're saying then. You know, let's see whether they're talking about men's issues, you know, in the way that they should be. No, they weren't. They were like, International Men's Day, but we should also make it inclusive and make it about women and non-binary people too. And then I was like, and then I see some other shit in the article, and that's when I was like, you know what, fuck you. And I was tired as well, man. I was getting really fucking angry about it. And when my boss came in, she went, are you all right? And I went, no, I'm not all right. I went, this is bullshit.
Sinatra says Ray will never be gay, China, and then Ryan Walters says it, and Evil One says it. See, that's just it. Hollywood, they're a bunch of conniving bastards, if you haven't noticed already. If they want to make a character like that gay, they will just put a strongly hinting scene in it, something that can be taken out of the movie, and it won't make any difference to the narrative.
I cannot get up.
No, that's what I was trying to say. It's like, yeah, they're gonna make it China safe, you know, so they can sell their movie over there, but then they're gonna like.
They'll shave her head and make her wear a flannel Jedi costume.
Yeah.
Hey, well, Cryptic again, thank you for the tip. Next movie, Star Wars, A New Scissors. I
ain't mad at that.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Torrent. I'm thinking that Cryptic got that from an actual movie he's seen, and I'm interested. Yeah. See, that's the problem with porn parodies. They always got them wearing the goofiest ass costume, and they're like used up porn whores. So it's not sexy, man. I mean, shit.
I saw the poster for Brexit, the porn movie.
What? What's the story? I don't even get it.
They could have used attractive actors and actresses. I'd watch it if they were, but they're not.
What's it about? Like grooming gangs?
Theresa May's trying to push her deal through.
Okay.
And I can imagine, just you take that as a euphemism. I'd imagine. I've not watched it. I don't know what the premise is.
I'm thinking it's a whole bunch of
God,
Bollywood porn if it's going to be Brexit themed. I don't know.
The idea of like this Farage fucking Theresa May, and she's got these like anal beads around her neck and stuff. Oh no.
God.
No.
Oh, come on. It's going to be Sadiq Khan and Theresa May, right? Because they're the cohorts in supporting Brexit.
Well, that's the thing, though, mate. If you remember, even though she supported, Remain,
Mm-hmm.
her mandate was that a no deal is better than a bad deal.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those days?
I do remember that. That's why I was so surprised that the deal that she came out with was like, this is so bad, and there's so many billions going
Well, that's
to.
why people call her Teresa the Appeaser.
It was.
That's what exactly she was trying to do. She was just trying to make everyone happy, and she actually pissed everybody off again and again and again.
Yeah. I mean, I remember her saying, talking about it afterwards, like, this is the vote of the people. This is the way that it went. Yeah, I was a Remainer, but yeah, as you said, this is the mandate that I got. I clearly remember her saying those things, but fucking certainly didn't turn out that way. I mean,
No, it didn't.
Brussels needs their fucking bankroll, right? If it's like with the economic center of London going, I remember Nigel Farage calling this is gangsterism. You guys, you want money for deals and construction operations, etc., that are years down the pipe that you're planning to start getting ready, and you want us to sign on and pay for them, and this will be years after we've left. Fuck off.
Yeah.
This is a
They were
shakedown.
asking for 39 billion extra to leave.
Yeah, it's like because your one of your bankrolls is leaving. Now there's only major Germany left as a massive bankroll, and the economic trading center of London is going with the rest of the UK. It's like, you guys sound like you're trying to grab as much money as fucking possible and hold Britain's feet to the fire over it. That was my takeaway from it.
Yeah, and London's a fucking big deal in terms of being the financial capital of Europe, especially. We have people from all over the world here. We have a lot of Americans.
Yeah, and it would be like Manhattan
here.
leaving the rest of the United States. Yeah, it would be a big deal, but mostly because Wall Street was going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where the trading center is. No, you can't take the trading center with you. That's a problem.
It's that building that looks like a giant love egg. If that went, then
what is a love egg?
You don't know. A love egg is a sexual toy device that vibrates, and ladies can stick it inside their vaginas and turn it on, which really gets them going.
Oh, the thing that the cam girls use when you're hitting up donations. Yeah, I know what thing you mean.
Oh, I didn't know cam. I don't watch cam girls, so I'm a good Christian boy, so I don't know what they do. But
I don't believe your transparent lies. But in case you actually didn't know what. No, all sorts of cam girls have it. It's a radio operated love egg. I didn't know they called them that. Omibot or whatever the fuck they're called is a specific brand. So
I don't know.
They shove it up in there, and there's an antenna sticking out of it, and then when you hit up donations, it automatically gives them vibrations. So,
I didn't know it did that. Actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the higher your donation, the stronger and longer the vibe it gives. So it's.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's fucking. That's capitalism.
That is capitalism pure. And it's like, I'm going to drop you $100 and watch you freak the fuck out when this donation hits, right? And speaking of freaking the fuck out when donations hit, what a great idea it was for me to put that Jessica Alba rolling around in her bra and panties on a bed top. Thank you, ex-Bubba Hotep, for the tip. I'm placing my bet. Monkey is going to wake up soon and start a stream without checking to see if anyone else is streaming. Oh, well, that's...
Oh, in that case, please, Jahans.
Oh.
We still have the friend. But we still have him.
Do you have 15 minutes for us to talk about Jahans? Fair. Alex?
Yeah, sure. But I was just going to quickly say about the love egg thing. Jim Jeffries told a story about when he stuck a love egg inside himself.
Really?
Yeah, and it broke inside him.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think he'd been, snorting Charlie all fucking night as well. And I think this was back in his days of when he was just an alcoholic, drug-using mess.
Fuck. That's
back when he was cool.
Now
riding off that degeneracy. Just kind of appropriate.
So I'm sorry to have stopped you in your tracks there with that, but please continue with your 15 minutes of I don't know.
Jahans.
Jahan.
He's a lolcow from online, and he's
excellent.
He's the Chris Chan of Britain.
Oh,
yeah, congratulations!
Excellent.
You guys found him.
Yes,
you guys found him.
It started on what's it called? British 4chan, their own channel, their own
it's
thread.
Like Britpole.
Britpole, that's it. Yeah. So on Britpol, they started, talking in and around this guy because Johans did exactly what Chris Chan did, which is go online and expatiate his own opinions, just carry on with, and he was the Nazis, the alt-righters, UKIP are a bunch of racist alt-righters, etc.,
And this
etc.
was before, like, it was a huge thing as well. So he was just seen as straight up fucking insane.
Okay.
From the get-go.
And we watched a interview with somebody from Britpol that had been one of those guys following, cataloging, recording, observing. Him goes by Black Adam. And we were watching an interview with him that this American YouTuber podcaster ran. And Far and I sat there and listened to it. I'd listened to it a while back, but I had forgotten most of it. And so we went over the details of it, and Jesus Christ, I'd forgotten all the stuff. He was born with... I mean, Far, what are some of the basic details?
Okay, so he was born with a thing called Kalman syndrome. And Kalman syndrome is basically, you don't go through puberty naturally. Like, so this guy had less testosterone than a woman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, despite being technically male, he had less testosterone than a woman. So, and also, interestingly enough, apparently Kalman syndrome also takes away your ability to smell, and you can't get that back no matter what.
All right.
So he has no sense of smell either.
So ripping
But-
huge
That's
farts is a
unfortunate.
unhygienic man, unaware of what the problem is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because he can't smell it.
Yeah.
So what's the deal, right?
So this guy sort of, while he was a ranter and a raver, achieved his first moment of infamy when he was talking, when he got upset with UKIP supporters and people that had been fucking with him online. He's convinced everybody who's watching him is an alt-righter and a racist who's watching him because they hate his opinions about them, right?
Yeah.
So at some point, he works himself up into an emotional tizzy and says, "This is what you want, isn't it?" Rips his shirt off to reveal his breasts. Because of his
Oh,
syndrome.
don't do that.
Yeah,
Because he has tits.
He has,
had actual tits.
and he's a very rotund man, but
Yeah.
because of this syndrome, has full-on tits. And nobody had been waiting for him to do this, but he must have thought that they were thinking about it or whatever, because they were calling him fat.
because at the time as well, because of all this, he apparently did kind of look slightly feminine, so it was a bit hard to tell.
And he did have a high-pitched voice because he hadn't gone through puberty. Even though he
Yes.
was 22, 23 at the time.
He was like 23 at the time, I think it was. Yeah,
That's very unfortunate.
So this-
it wasn't like he was a 13-year-old doing it. No. No, he was 23.
Well, let me recalibrate your sense of unfortunate there, Alex. Unfortunate is when you're stupid enough, as I was, to go find this video. I don't know. I now regret my actions.
Yeah, I'm never
because
going
I saw him pull. This is what you want. Well, this is what you want, isn't it? And he pulls his shirt off and starts jiggling and gyrating and rotating and it's things are flying and flapping and skin is smacking and fucking hell.
It's very descriptive, Polly.
Oh god. But yeah, so it's from that though that the people watching him were kind of like, hey, hold on, I think he's actually got like a serious thing going on, like Kalman syndrome. So through this, somehow, these people on Britpol, 4chan, managed to get him to get an actual diagnosis, and what do you know? It's Kalman syndrome.
They said, we think you have X. Man, you need to go see a doctor. He somehow, like Far said, became convinced, or they were deadly serious enough. Hey, joke's off the table, man. Listen to your voice. Listen to what you're talking about. He's constantly talking about his hypermicroscopic penis, which would make sense, has never been through puberty. Plus, he's a big fat old ball butter. And he eventually goes, and yeah, he has exactly what they said he had. So what do they decide to do, the doctors, with this large 6'4", possibly 325, 350 pound man?
What? He's that tall as well.
Oh,
Like,
he's
fuck.
huge. He's huge. They decide with this guy at 23, 24 years old at this point to give him massive doses of testosterone.
They don't even start him off small either. Like,
Oh God.
okay, so
You need to lose weight if you're gonna do that.
okay, so here's the thing. My girlfriend Platty, she is trans, and when I told her about this, of like, is this normal to give like a huge dose of hormones right away? She was just like, what the fuck? Like, she was surprised.
Oh,
You know,
that-
of like how much they were giving it, because it's like, no, you start that shit off small, because your body's not used to that.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
Like,
never
insane.
He's never had anywhere
What
near that
doctor
much.
did that?
NHS to the rescue, huh?
Yes. Yeah, because here's the other thing. Here's the other thing to realize about Jahan's. His mother was like somewhere high up in the hierarchy for the NHS.
A senior administrator and a practicing nurse at the NHS.
That bitch didn't do anything before this.
Okay.
No,
What?
both his parents. Okay, so his mum is that. Then his dad is a well-known, like, what is it, like geneticist or something?
Biologist. He's a
Biologist.
focusing
biologist.
in human biology. He's a world-famous PhD in biology. His mother
And
is
no-
a senior admin and nurse at NHS, and they never thought there was something wrong with their titty-having, high-voiced 23-year-old son.
Yeah, parents of the fucking.
Oh God, that's amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, we're both so fucking fascinated by this because it just keeps going, and no one in this is a good person.
No one.
It's exactly like Christian. There are no heroes here. It's all villains.
Yeah.
So he's getting more and more pissed off. The Brexit
Yeah.
vote comes. It doesn't go his way. He's more angry than ever, you know?
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my
and
God.
what didn't his mum vote for Brexit as well?
Yeah, his mom voted for UKIP and voted for Brexit. So he's just raw because now he has the testosterone of fucking Hercules of legend, and he's a rage monster at this point. Like freaking he went from "You want to see these tits?" to "My dad makes me so angry." In the videos, you can hear it in 6 months. His voice go from a 12-year-old girl to like my voice or Undoomed's voice. That fast.
Yeah.
And now imagine this guy who's never had anywhere near this much testosterone in his body. But they kept talking about he has less testosterone than a woman. And
So like, he's gonna be even angrier
yeah, like
than he was
Oh
before.
shit, right? And like, what do you think happened next? Like, he's already pissed at his parents. He's got this much fucking testosterone going through his body, and he's big as shit.
So he's
Where you-
basically like started male puberty
Yeah.
on basically on steroids,
Yeah.
pretty much, and
in his
was
early 20s.
already a fucking spurg as it was.
hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. Oh, this is like the basic shit we're talking about here. This isn't even getting into his weird.
He's on the
Fan fiction.
spectrum, very far gone. He looks he's out there, man. And
Right?
if he wasn't
fiction.
such an incredibly awful degenerate, you might have sympathy for him. But he's a complete degenerate, this guy.
Fucking degenerate. He writes these weird short stories things that are set in this thing called the multiverse, which is his own weird sci-fi universe where it's kind of ripping off Doctor Who.
Okay,
Oh, no.
Ginger Snap
it-
asks, did he kill his parents? No.
No,
But
no,
he did have...
but he would want to.
He
would
did pick up his
find-
father, bear hug him, just to make his father realize how powerful he had become.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do anything, old man. And then let him go. And then the next time they had a little tussle, he picked his father up and threw him out of his house. Out of his, like, the father owns the house. It's his house. He bought it. He was fixing it up. Jahan's just happens to live there still. And he just went downstairs and "You're getting out of my house," and picked up the old man and had more
He
than
actually
enough.
picked him up and yeeted him out
Yeah.
the door.
He just straight threw him right out the fight. He has more than enough physical strength to throw this old
Don't
man.
give a 6 foot fucking something fat man testosterone so he can pick people up and yeet them out. For fuck's
yeah.
sake.
The cops got called. It's just like, dude, you can't kick your own dad out of his own house.
I'm
You know?
loving this story, by the way. like far. Obviously, you're a lady. I'm sure I've been told. I'm joking. Polly, you remember going through puberty? Like you,
Oh yeah, it's
male puberty you know, your hormones are everywhere. You're horny as fuck, and you want to kill somebody.
Yeah, you are physical as fuck. You want to climb things, take things apart, build things, and then rip them down. Like, yeah, you're fucking full of exuberance. And yeah, absolutely. You want to fuck everything.
I just remember being uber angry.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then obviously, like, I don't think I stopped puberty until around a year ago, but but fuck, like, imagine just like ultra puberty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the spurgiest motherfucker you can think.
Never having any experience with controlling his emotions because his parents would let him spurg the fuck out, right? And his mother, remember his mom, Far, with the condescending? This is because of your autism.
Yeah, oh god.
It's your condition that's making you act like this. In other words, the worst. She was a mental health practitioner as a nurse. That was her specific area.
His parents are useless cunts.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Like, they had an older daughter, right? A much older daughter, okay? So this is where I kind of think Jahan's was planned, so that's kind of why a lot of this shit kind of happened, you know? But she's fine. Like, she's completely normal. Like, she's pretty successful as well. And then you have Jahan's, who's, like, obviously, I don't think he was planned, just because of the way they were treating him, for starters, because you can tell he was quite neglected as well. Just because of, like, he was obviously just let to do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yeah, clearly.
They went around. Yeah, and it was only once they retired that they realized that their son was a piece of shit.
It sounds like they just bought him, you know, games consoles, TVs, handheld consoles, a PC, and just dumped it in his room and then wandered off.
Oh,
yes,
no, they absolutely did.
And he played Skyrim for about 3 years straight.
He still never finished Skyrim.
So
he has played Skyrim for 3 years straight, and he's never finished the game.
He's never done the main quest.
No. And that was Black Adam, who was doing this sort of interview, the guy from Britpole, was a very articulate guy. And he said this line that really stuck with me, because Jahan's started, full air quotes here, jobs that he would very quickly leave because one problem or another, as you might imagine, and then would never look for work again, and then was on government assistance the rest of the time, right? And just tragic. Like, would never do anything, would start classes and not finish them at university or whatever. All these starting things never do anything. And Black Adam makes this observation, the guy from Britpole, that it's very similar to what he would do in Skyrim. It's very indicative of his entire life. Never play the actual game, never get any accomplishments done, just spend your whole time wandering around and sandboxing, pretend.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that is a harsh condemnation right there, man.
But it is absolutely accurate.
Yeah.
So I was going to make a video on Heaven's Gate, but this sounds way more fun.
He's kind of an unknown character. And it's...
He is. So strange. I mean, he has a wiki. There is a wiki on him that's called Jahanspedia.
There's got to be a fucking video by internet historian or someone. Like, somebody must have made a video on this guy.
The only thing I can think of is, like, maybe some compilations here and there of people that were observing him. Because there was a Discord, okay? There was a Discord they had centered around it, but they were all British, so of course some fuckery happened there, right?
Yeah.
Because Jahan's was in there too. And this is where they got a lot of the information from, actually, and where Black Adam got a lot of his information from. Because he was able to interview Jahan's in here. But eventually it got to the point of where Jahan's didn't see this as fun and games anymore. So he decided to somehow find the person, I forget exactly how this went, but it somehow ended with them locating the person that actually ran the Discord server, who was a woman.
The way that people were sending stuff to Jahan's.
Oh yeah, that was it. That was it, wasn't it? Yeah, they were sending shit to Jahan.
She had sent him tarantulas.
Yes.
And when the police locate her through whatever, like British Postal Service or whatever, they're able to trace it back to her. And the police contact her and show all of the stuff a sampling of all of the stuff that people have sent to the Jahan's household. And it's weird stuff.
Sending his father specifically pictures of Jahan's mother, so his ex-wife, right? Because they divorced during this.
Oh my
God.
And
they're sending him pictures of his ex-wife at this point, right? And they had jizzed on the picture.
They're all frosted pitchers that had
They
photographs.
got battle damage on them, is what you're saying.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
representing them. So that was part of it. That was definitely a part of it.
And
But yeah.
but mostly what they were
were
sending him were pizzas and Qurans.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I forgot about that. And Quran.
Because they're just fucking with him, right?
Yeah,
And
that's all they're
eventually
doing.
this thing starts up around him, started by all of the pollsters, called esoteric Jahanism, where it was
Yep.
they like the prophet Jahans, and he is their prophet, and the religion is called esoteric Jihadism, and the whole thing is it's a spoof, it's a joke, but fuck, they're funny with it. So there's all these saintly pictures of Downsy looking Jahans, like in a saint's robes and stuff, and holding like his holy book of information.
Work that hard to make it look downsy, to be honest.
Not really. Because he would expound about his worldview and how this is racist and how we need to stay with the EU and here's the problems that are underlying society, and somehow connect it with all of his weirdo Doctor Who fanfic.
Yeah, that involved war and BDSM. Fair warning about that. Because apparently he has a real weird thing about shrinking women and keeping them captive and then eating them.
That's right. That was his big fantasy, was
Every
capturing,
single
collecting,
word.
shrinking, and eating women.
Yeah, it's like DeviantArt, you know?
So he's like
Holy fuck.
is he into vor?
We don't, it's that thing of like, you can assume he's into it. Because like, I mean, how else can you take that, you know?
Yeah.
There's no other way to take
and
that.
The story goes on and on. Like so
So the Discord gets shut down. The Discord
right, because
gets shut down.
that woman gets scared and
got
goes back
arrested.
and tells the story
Yeah,
about
she
law
legit-
enforcement. And
Yeah, but she legit got arrested for that. I don't know if she actually got no, she didn't get properly charged because Jahan's like, no, let her go. She will spread the message or whatever. It was something really fucking weird. Like, super, super weird.
oh no, Jahan's statement on so the police ask him, what do you want us to do with her? And his statement is, I am benevolent. Let her go. For
Yeah,
she will
that was
tell
it.
the others.
That was it.
Oh my
That was it.
He's a little
Yeah.
locked up in his Doctor Who virtual god. Like Doctor Who's so like, ultra powerful, right? And he moves around the universe through
Yeah.
alternate dimensions and stuff. And that's how Jahan's began to see himself in his self-insert fanfic of Doctor Who.
Yeah, which totally is not self-insert.
Right.
According to Jahan's, not at all.
But I mean, we could
But
go on
yeah,
and on, and I
well,
realize you said 15 minutes. We're running up
the great
against it
Dark
now.
Nuke. Great Far Schnook is totally not him.
Yeah,
Not at all.
That's his character, the Great Far Schnook. It just gets weirder and weirder because he does suck off this severely autistic guy and moves in with him for a very short period.
Yeah, for like a week. And then something like he sucks him off and the dude gets up and doesn't even do anything with Jahan's. It just goes on his fucking computer. And that's how they broke up.
Oh my god.
Because the autistic dude ends up telling him, get out of my house.
It's like, I see people in chat, like Rich is like, how did you find out about this guy? I missed that part. Originally, I first heard about him because I watched a channel called Random Assault Podcast, and there were two guys that were doing It Came From the Internet, the series. Like, just Chris Chan and Jahans, and there was Digimon, there was speed running, there was all sorts of weird, odd things that people get deeply involved in and around the internet. It's very kind of internet historian-like, but in a much more low-key, lower production value podcast style. And I dug it, and they did very, very well over there, and they ended up separating from that podcast and starting their own channel called Odietsy. And all of the interviews are still up and on there. They kind of stopped producing. But that's where I found out about him, was because I was into the Odietsy podcast. Because
I want to make a video on him.
Yeah, I'll send you the links.
I think I decided it in the first minute. I've just made that video on Shani, and that took everything to fucking make, as you could imagine. This sounds like it'd be a lot more fun.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot fine with it because I don't think people have necessarily made in-depth videos about him. As far as I'm aware, that interview is probably the most in-depth thing you'll find in that sense. But
because Black Adam was a Britpol
yeah,
member,
he knows his
and And
But-
knew his stuff extremely well. Very good.
So
recall.
this guy he's our Chris Chan. He's our Dragon Lord.
Yes,
All
he
the way-
is.
100%.
But like, in saying all this, you will be able to find a lot of information, I'm betting, just because it's sitting out there ready to take.
Yeah. And
See, Dankula would be in a better position to make a video about this guy than what I would be.
Yeah, but
Because
would
it's
he
not
really
really
be
my
a
style of video, you know what I mean? Like,
Mad Lab though? So I don't think. I don't know.
I'd still fall. Would he fall under the Mad Lad category? Because like, Dank has included some interesting people. I mean, like, Dragon Lord is a Mad Lad, isn't he?
True.
And
but it's-
Saddam Hussein's son is also considered to be a
Yeah,
mad lad, even
fair
though he's an evil piece of shit. Like, that was an amazing video, by the way, guys. Like, if you haven't watched Dankula's video on Saddam Hussein's son,
which one was it? Was it Uday or Kusei?
Uday, yeah, Uday Hassan, yeah. What the fucking Dankula's so good at storytelling, it really is.
Yeah.
I can listen to him for fucking ever talk about these kind of things, and that video in particular, just it's worth the watch. The video is very, very well made, as expected with Dank, very well researched, and Dank's obviously very good at storytelling. He can make the most darkest shit seem funny. So,
Of all
definitely
potatoes says, please give me a second before I laugh myself to death. He's been repeatedly saying I can't breathe. I'm laughing. So yeah, I hear you, Evolved. It's a fucked up, twisted, up and down story. That interview on the ODSC channel goes on for 3 hours, and it's a roller coaster ride from this is fucking depressing to anger. This guy's a fucking degenerate to confusion. What the fuck is going on with this guy? It's a wild ride, man.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's still technically going.
Yeah, he's still around and doing his thing. That hasn't changed.
No, it absolutely hasn't. It's just I don't know what's happened within the 2 years since he's done that interview.
Yeah, like the father has died. The mother's still alive, and he's still on benefits. But when that comes to an end, I don't know. Homelessness, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of like Christian.
Yeah.
Like homelessness. It's the only thing that's going to happen.
And Evil One says it's time for free drinks after that story. Yeah, it's a free round for sure. Ryan Walters asks, how did the dude get off? I thought he never fishes in anything. I hear you, but that's what led to him breaking up with the severely autistic guy. He sucked him off after they had moved in together, and then he said, you do me now, and the guy was like, no. And he ran upstairs and cried, and that's when Johns went home and broke up with him over the internet, and that was the end of it. So he didn't get off.
Yeah, no, he never got his dick sucked by a severely autistic man.
Lovely.
Poor Jahans. Just, oh god.
On and on it goes. And imagine this guy running around your university campus, because he was there for a short while taking creative writing and stuff. And
he wanted to write for Doctor Who.
Yeah.
He legit wanted to be a writer on Doctor Who. But he would write for all his assessments, his weird fan fiction shit about the... Oh god, I forget the Great Farshnook.
Yeah.
All of it would be about this, and it'd be the same shit of like finding usually blonde-haired, blue-eyed women. No, not usually. All of them were blonde-hair,
Right.
blue-eyed, white women.
I forgot about that. The Black Adam actually got him to show up on the Discord, and Jahans decided to come into voice chat. And they were like, oh my god, this guy that we've been following and laughing at and etc., he's actually here right now. And Black Adam was able to convince him to hang around and talk, and he interviewed him on several occasions. And the stuff that came out of those interviews, try not to scare him off and stuff. Just like, I've noticed that you're very much against racism, you're very much against it, but all of the characters in your story, all the women are pale white women that are blonde-haired and blue-eyed. All of them without exception. Why is that? And his answer was, because I want them pure.
Oh my god.
And it's like,
Yeah.
how? What? You? What? You're living up to the stereotype of an SJW. All of these virtue signals, yet very little of the actuation of it. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. He was like the SJW before SJWism even fully rose to power. Like, some of this stuff started before the world, like, the shit ended up hitting the fan, right?
Yeah. This is starting way back, like 2014, 2015. Oh, and he's got lots of opinions on Trump, as you might imagine. Wild guy, man. So there's the very short version of the story of Alexander Gordon Jahans. Wow.
Yeah, the great Nuke, the
The-
central figure of esoteric Jahanism.
Our prophet.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Doing a video on him. I've got to do my video on Heaven's Gate. I've got to fucking do it. Like I've been putting it off for drama, effectively.
If you do the Heaven's Gate, you know, one thing that I would suggest is there are a number of interviews with ex-Heaven's Gaters that obviously weren't there on the day that they suicided. But their actual thoughts and beliefs about how false the world is worth covering. It's like, oh, that they were a cult.
Yeah.
But why were they there? Why would anyone put up with that beyond cult-like aspects? Yeah, they have means of the inside-outside group, and there's judgment if you leave, and they separate you from your families. But every cult does that. What are the things that made them want to join and stay? They're actually really interesting with Heaven's Gate. The world is false. The world is all shadows and illusion. We want to progress to a higher level of energy and spirituality, very similar to early Gnosticism in North Africa. There's lots of world religions throughout history that have held that idea. They just didn't take it to this extreme and suiciding is elevating. You know, that kind of thing is progressing. It's worth looking into. The interviews are out there for them as they
I've seen some partial interviews already.
Okay.
Because I did start the research for it.
Cool.
Before Shani came along and decided to call me a pedo enabler, and then proceeded to act like a victim when I dicked her on Twitter. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking destroy you then.
Well, and I mean, it's always the nut bars, isn't it? I don't know. It's anecdotal, but I always seem to notice that when she's Shani for Christ, and you don't really seem to be very into it. Except for the fire and brimstone condemnation part.
The thing is with Shani, and like I know that I called her a racist, and she is a racist, kinda. And you know, she is a legit like homophobe, and she is a sex like not to sound like an SJW, but she is all of those things, right? She legit is, and it's not just that. It's like I explained to you before with Shani. Like I would have made a video on her as Irate Bear, like as a hard right, conservative civic nationalist. I still would have done it because she was trying to make arguments that I was a year ago, but getting it wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's so unhinged and just so spurgy. Like she can't even make very basic arguments about like things like conservative values and stuff like that. Like, and she uses a lot of pervasive kind of racist language, but I don't think she knows that she's doing it, and I don't think that she understands any political ideology in the slightest. I don't think she understands that she's basically a Facebook mom.
Ooh, harsh.
Yeah,
I see what you're getting at, though.
She's a mentally ill Facebook mom, is what she is. Like people call her racist and stuff. But the thing is, like, to be racist, you kind of need to understand the concept of what race is, right? And I don't think that she's. I just think that she's incredibly stupid, and I think that she's very manipulative, and that she just wants the world to bend to her will, but can't. Like, she can give it, but she can't take it. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, she just.
And when she gets into race and so much, like from your videos where I know this stuff from, right? Your videos is where I know this stuff from. Her racism is so pinned to her landlord, and she knew this guy. Like, it's very personal and very individual, but yet makes it about race, which is so incredibly broad. You know what I mean?
This thing, she was the landlord.
She was the landlord. Okay.
Yeah, like imagine like having Shani for Christ as your fucking landlord, and the guy was G-Man, who she was trying to fuck.
Oh my god!
And her whole beef was like, he lied and he owes me money.
She's like legitimately a racist because like she's had one bad experience with one black guy, and they were friends. You know
You know what? Right after this, I'm gonna have to watch that video because I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's a ride. Yeah, Chad, if you haven't seen...
you'd be there for a while. It's a long one. So
it's over on the Irate Alex channel. The female Anision is the name of the latest one, and it's a ride, man. Wow.
I enjoy this kind of shit, not gonna lie. It's why I find Jahan's and Chris Chan's so fascinating and hilarious, you know? So, yeah, I'll be in for a good ride.
She's fucking mental. Like, she was a part of the Brett Keane crew.
The what?
The Brett Keane.
I don't know.
What did the drunken peasants call them? The Great Debate Community.
Okay.
Yeah, like the TJ Kirk, like he just ripped into all of them 8 years ago. You know, this is one of the reasons why she thinks she's relevant, because she was like, TJ Kirk's got 1 million subscribers and 1 million people have seen me. It's like, yeah, but they don't like you, bitch.
Right.
Yeah, she's fucking insane. Like, she's having a go at me, going, "Oh, Shane Dawson included me in his video, so I'm a relevant diva, bitch." I'm like, "Bitch, you've got fewer than 2,000 subscribers. I'm just under 10,000. I'm not fucking relevant, right? What the fuck makes you think that you're relevant?"
I just said it a while back with Jahan. Some people are not able to distinguish the difference between good and bad attention. Not all focus and attention on you's something you should be celebrating or happy with. You know what I mean? Like you're...
Yeah. But that's the thing. Her and her fella, they revel in this shit.
I forget who it was, but I got a 3-tweet thread sent at me, and my name was at Polly_Dub in each one. And you can follow me on Twitter at Polly.
You what, mate? What?
And not only by men, but my mother.
Pause,
Madam, this is a games workshop. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Shani.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I was just opening Alex's video to put the link in chat.
For Christ.
Oh,
I chose to sacrifice that.
Probably do it quicker.
What's that?
You could probably do it quicker.
Well, yeah, I could have just asked, but I figured out he was... Oh, fuck! How many times is this thing going to unpause? Alex, what's with the loud volume?
Me?
Yeah. There we go. Really quick, the Lookout donated $2. Thank you very much for the tip. Monkey is called the Fuzz again. Oh my god. A fucking sellout. Monkey's always calling the Fuzz on us, man. Just because we're in a legal bar. I don't understand what his problem is.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to bounce out anyway if you're going to end the stream.
Yeah, I am, and I'm just going to throw your link.
Got work tonight. I need to chill.
I'm going to throw the link to your video into chat, the one we're talking about, the female Anision here.
So what was that guy's name?
Alexander... Alex Johans.
Alexander Johans.
Like Jahans. I can send you the wiki if you want on Twitter.
Yeah, please, if you could. Yeah, I do follow you, so a DM would be much obliged, madam. Much
I'll
obliged.
just DM the main page that has the thing on it.
Can I, before we go, can I show you my advent calendar?
Sure.
Is my camera? There we go. This is my advent calendar because
Hold on.
I'm a grown adult.
You're not on screen. Give me a second.
I've not opened day 1 and day 2.
I have an advent calendar. It's fine.
Wait a minute.
Nom.
There you are.
Where's day 2?
Is that Peppa Pig?
It is Peppa
Holy
Pig.
What?
Oh, and he's even got garland behind him and everything. Very nice.
Yeah, it's so Christmassy.
Yeah, I want some more Christmas decks for my office, but skint at the moment, shall we say? So had to fork out for a fridge freezer.
Yeah.
Nom.
So you just wanted to show off your advent calendar? Very nice.
Yeah, that's delayed, woman. What? Yeah, that's all I wanted to show.
Very nice. Very nice. Here. So yes, we are closing down for the night over here, so we can all go over and listen to Monkey now. For those of you who stuck around to this point, I would absolutely like to thank everybody who came by to hang out tonight. I would like to thank the people who kept me company at the bar, namely Far and Irate Alex. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hey. Far's link is already to her merch store, to her channel, are already in the description. But you guys can go ahead and pop them in chat if you want. I just put the link to Alex's newest video that was posted just tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it would have been 6:15 your time, Eastern?
Yeah, I only watched it like 6 hours ago, so that's what I meant by tonight, because I haven't been asleep yet. The Female Onision Drama Cycle. It's an hour and 20 minutes long, but it's a damn good watch. I dug it. I would definitely like to thank all of the people who tipped the bartender. Lookout, X-Bubba Hotep, and Cryptic, a whole bunch. Thank you, Cryptic, X-Bubba Hotep, Mr. Scott, Evolved Potato, The Harry Channel, RVA Dar. You guys are awesome. And a special thanks to Evolved Potato for putting everybody's links in chat. That is honestly greatly appreciated. So, as we always say about this time after last call, you don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. And it's Christmastide season, so we're going to be doing a lot more Noir Bars because I have a lot more free time now that my research contract is completed. Everybody look out for more, and we will see you.